Hey, guys. I didn't realize I was muted. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Nerd Herd today. I'm not my usual self today. As you can see the title, I don't even have a thumbnail. When I tell you the hackation that I go through is so heavy, it would not allow me to upload a thumbnail. I know we're supposed to come here for part two of the Trump series, and the Trump stuff was a hassle. I'm talking. Somebody tried to strike me. The Trump trolls were in here last night. It was quite an annoying situation. Hey guys, hope all of you are good. Grand rising to the family. I'm so annoyed right now, honestly. I love this thing we've built here and I love what we have, but I do not like these YouTube streets. When I say the most petulant, evil, jealous, disrespectful, nasty people, and not my nerd herd family, there is a whole agenda afoot on YouTube, a YouTube mafia, all this stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it. I live a peaceful life. I love this thing that we have. I love to be able to come out here and talk to you guys and nerd out. And, we talk about great topics and all types of stuff. And yet there is an agenda afoot of people who are evil, people who are hateful. I get emails from one group of people. You shouldn't be friends with this one. I get emails from the next group of people saying, don't be friends with this group. And then the first group of people come back and say, you need to keep such and such off your channel and you go be friends with this person, trying to direct me to a particular YouTube content creator when it's so obvious that somebody connected to them or maybe them is sending it. And then someone else from a whole nother content creator is sending me messages. You need to not talk to these people. You need to have these people in your show. You should talk to it. There's a lot of who knew that's sitting in the sitting room of your house, in your bedroom, talking to the people, finding your own tribe, like I thought this thing was about. And nerding out and having collective interaction would be so disturbing to my spirit. First of all, nerd herd family, I love you guys. I love you guys. I don't know what's going on in these YouTube streets, and I really don't like it. There is a hidden hand, and it's very evil, very nasty. I don't like it. I live a very quiet, comfortable life. I see something in the chat. Let me see what I'm missing. Hi, guys. Wow. And see, so first of all, shout out to her. And I hate that she had to be outed because in the United States of America, there is a law that protects the victims of grape. It protects them. It protects their identity. They're not supposed to be identified. That is a law that's been a long-standing law in America. Why it had to be broken is disgusting. And it has come to me that that's what all of this was. He asked I literally had to sit with God when I saw that people were trying to make me the story. People want to go make a mockery out of me on YouTube. I don't like, what is this? What is this high school? I want to sit at the cool table crap. It is ugly. It is very corny. It is petulant. It is nasty spirited. It's a bunch of outcasts in the outer perimeter of the school lunchroom in high school that, the social misfits and the this one and the that one and that one, and all these groups. And it's like it's the cool kids in the middle. And all the people in the outer, well, not all. Some people are in their respective groups and they love where they are. But so many people want to get to this center table, these group of center tables in the middle of the lunchroom. And it is whack. It is corny. It is corny. And if they think that, you somehow get to the front of the line or you're coming up to the cool, you walk in the lunchroom and you're a new kid. So you sit at the middle tables. There's a seat available. All of a sudden you're a pariah. Everybody hates you. They mad. Who told her she could sit here? I don't ask permission to sit nowhere. I sit where I want. But this group of nefarious actors whether it be the cool kids who's already at the table or the ones in the outer perimeter that want to get to the cool table. They're like, who said she could sit over there? I want to sit over here. I've been here longer. It's a nasty, it's a dirty, nasty playground, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Because, see, and then there's a whole nother dichotomy here. So many people hate God. I did not realize so many people hated God. I promise you. Clearly, being a nerd, I am naive. I did not know so many people hated God. The amount of, why should we gotta be talking about God? Sure, they're talking about God. That must be fake. Like, what's wrong with you people? Do people not like God like that? It's annoying. I mean, it is quite disconcerting. And God, I was on the phone with the dopest mod. Shout out to the dopest mod and all the mods. I love you guys. Shout out to the Nerd Herd family. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in another way right now, honestly. I was talking to the dopest mod. Shout out to Locked. Shout out to Lakeisha. Shout out to Charlotte. I'm speaking to the dopest mod on the phone, and I'm like, yo, we were having a fun. I picked my daughter up. She and I had been on the phone since earlier today. We laughing on the phone. We just having a jolly good time. The whole time. I go to the gas station. I go run my errands. My daughter wanted to pick up something. We go do all of this stuff. We're on the phone laughing and having a great time, jolly as the day is long. Step in the house, put the TV on, my spirit taken. Like, why do people, what's wrong with people? Why don't people have enough integrity to, even if you want to report a story, what's broken inside of you that you have to make a mockery out of somebody? What is broken inside of you that you have to make a mockery out of somebody? And what is this? And it's always the faceless channels. Why are you making a mockery out of somebody? What is there about me to make a mockery of? Like, really? Or anybody for that matter. I love God. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a nerd. I love information, and I love to share it with people. I look for my own tribe. I ain't stepping on nobody's toes. I'm not running around saying, oh, I'm the queen of YouTube. Nothing. I don't even have a desire for that. I'm over here in my corner of the internet talking to my nerd herd family. People who love exchanging information and drinking water and minding our business. I got people calling me. One content creator, somebody told me I didn't see his own thing. I got the information from somebody. She asked me, are you a voodoo priestess witch? That's what he's saying about you. What? Oh my gosh. And I always tell my daughter, I say, listen, don't respond to people. When people pander and do things, they want your undivided attention. What they want is your attention. This is the information I give. You got people out here that want me to be a robot. People were in my comments like, something's wrong with you. I've never seen her upset. Listen, I told you all before, it's called passion. When I'm passionate about something, I am passionate. God gave us a range of emotions. I don't care if you want to do it in a circle. I don't care if you want to do it in a line, a zigzag. He gave us a range of emotions. No one gets to determine which ones we get to use. I think it's very disingenuous of people who claim to like you and be your friend to be like, oh, I only like you when you say this, or when you do this, or when you talk like this. Excuse me. The Bible that I follow, and especially with all the hate I get for mentioning the Bible and talking about God, y'all know I follow the Bible. And that's just one source. I also read the Tanakh. I also read a whole bunch, the Apocrypha. I read a lot of stuff. I told you, come on. Y'all know already. I feel like I'm almost regurgitating stuff. I went to theology school. I read a lot. I take from a lot of sources. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. But I love God, and I'm not afraid to say it. There are a lot of heathens out here who are offended by my love of God. Why does my love of God bother you so? Why? And if I don't like somebody, and if I don't like your style, and I don't like the sound of your voice, and I don't like all these things, I'm not coming to your channel. and to sit up all in your, to be in your chat attacking people, and to come in the chat and making all these. I take a period of time out because of my love for you guys and my love for what I'm doing, where I go through I go through my emails, I go through my, just as a course of life, I go through the messages, people ask for prayer, things like that. I stop and pray. I'll say, hey, somebody say, can you pray for me? I'm like, is there a specific need? Because they didn't give any information. They didn't say like, oh, pray for my this, or pray for my dad, or, people will say, pray for my dad. But then some people say, can you pray for me? All it is a screen name. It's not like their name, or they didn't say a specific need. And so I say, is there a specific need? Go ahead and email me. And if there's a specific need, I'll pray. I don't have a problem with that. I enjoy it. I love God. What's the problem? Some people are livid. I'm getting messages from all kinds of people with, this content creator don't like you. This content, this one is jealous of you. Like, it's what I tell you. Now, I do remember some of these behaviors from when I was a teenager and even when I was a kid. Junior high school, maybe some in elementary, definitely some in high school. But guess what? I keep telling y'all, when I was a kid, I never considered myself a kid. I didn't feel inside. The spirit inside of me never felt like a child. I felt like an adult in a kid's body. So I thought all of this petty, petulant back and forth and tit for tat was corny then. I really think it's corny now. I cannot believe that this is entering my life and entering my spirit. I don't like it. I was planning on coming here and follow up with part 2 of, is this your leader? I got people in there. Look at how she talks. She does it. Listen, I don't know what robot you guys are looking for. I'm a human. See, I ain't got my lashes on or nothing, Lord. I'm a human. We modulate. That's called humanity. That's called being alive. God gave us a range of emotions. Who do you think you are to tell me which ones I'm allowed to use? The Bible I follow says, cry aloud and spare not. You know what that means in regular English? Speak truth to power and don't spare nobody. If somebody aggressors upon you or whatever, get them. That's what it means. My Bible also says anger, but sin not. God is saying, oh, somebody come for you, check their behinds, but don't commit sin. Have I sinned against anyone? Who have I sinned against? Tell me who I sinned against. There's so much finger wagging in the thing. Half the comments are, or I would say 75% of the comments are, oh my God, we love you, sis. Thank you. We've been looking for something on YouTube, some grown woman-ish. Men are in the comments. Yo, sis, you're beautiful. We really love the vibe. It's so cool over here. Somebody said 5 hours, your videos just get juicier. I love it over here. Just really nice things. But then there is this 25% who, so help me God, the devil up in y'all. And it's nasty. Here's the deal. If I just go back to my regular life, I don't have nothing to do with that 25% because I don't like that 25%. Like, I'm a child of God, but it ain't my duty. One of the most wise piece of information this older lady gave me? She said, everybody ain't your assignment. Because, I love to help everybody. I want to do this. I want to be a blessing here. Listen, all this pettiness, I don't like it. I'm not here to steal nobody's spot. Who are you that you've been on YouTube for so many years with your massive following and you friggin' mad at me? I don't understand it. What is it about? What do you need? Do we need to have a conversation? Because shame on you, first of all, that you hate God so much. And I'll be praying for y'all. I'll be like, Father God, forgive them for they know not what they do. You're completely right. Anger without malice. I don't even have malice. I'm not a grudge holder. I don't do all those things. I don't do it. I can't stand the circus. I don't like it. And why is everybody continuously trying to make me the story? Trying to ridicule me on YouTube. You want to make me the story. How am I the story? I am simply a woman who was victimized 25 years ago. I kept my foot on his neck because I said, I am not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you get away. I'm not going to stay quiet and let you get away with this. So I kept my foot on the gas pedal and on his neck for 25 years. When people told me, let it go, don't say nothing. He'll never be taken down. He'll never this. He'll never. People always saying what won't ever happen. Somebody was on the channel the other day talking about, oh, that's not going to happen. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Insisting that's not going to change. It's never going to change. Listen here. Blue Cross Blue Shield Anthem changed a medical law about a month ago or 2 months ago and said for people having surgery, if your anesthesia goes over, if your surgery goes over a certain amount of time, they are not responsible for over 2.5 hours worth of anesthesia. After that, you have to pay out of your pocket. You know how many people will not get the surgeries they need because they can't afford to pay for anesthesia? Anesthesia is expensive, not the least of which you will cause an interruption in people's healthcare because doctors are going to be racing to try to finish a surgery quick in case you can't pay because they want to get their money and then making mistakes. Who gives an administrator sitting behind a desk with a tie on or a little cotton shirt the right to interrupt what's going on in the medical room and in the care plan and the treatment? Let me tell you something. After they pop out the CEO of thing, them suckers came back and was like, never mind. You know what? Listen, forget what we said. We don't mean it. Y'all could have as much anesthesia as y'all need. Stop always walking around talking about that ain't gonna happen. That you a negative Nelly. Move from your soul. The person who said I'm a Haitian voodoo witch with a fake Jamaican accent. First of all, sir, I will have you know ain't nothing fake about my accent. Not a thing. Okay? Nothing. I am Caribbean. I am Trinidadian. I'm from Brooklyn, where we have everybody in the Caribbean there, and people will have an amalgamation of all the accents. I also have a distinction of being an at-home comedian, you know, around my peoples, and I can do every Caribbean accent and a few other kinds of accents. So I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know nothing about Caribbean. You don't know nothing about Caribbean life to come tell me about fake something. My godmother is Haitian, and so is my daughter-in-law's family, and my grandchild is part Haitian. Ain't nothing fake about this. Y'all saw me on the Jesse Wu interview. I have Haitians that are like, wow, that is excellent, Cleo. Excellent. People saying, oh, she's Haitian. I thought she was Trini. Oh, I thought she was Jamaican. You got Jamaicans and everybody in the chat fighting over what I am. You gonna tell me I'm a fake, this one with a fake accent and fake? You smoking krills, brother. Krills, I say. Krills is a nice word for crack. You is smoking them jums. Who are you to come and tell me what I am? It's the same mentality of all y'all out there. Kamalain Black. How you gonna tell me what I am? I was raised by a Haitian godmother in tandem with my Trinidadian mother and my Jamaican husband. I spent years and years. You hear what I said? My son, 35. What you think? I'm some new young dilly-dally, just met a guy and I kicked it for a year and a half and now I'm talking like him. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? All of these stupid, dumb insults. Patois is what we do as Caribbeans. Okay? Caribbeans marry other Caribbeans. There is an amalgamation of accents throughout. Why are you concerned? What does that even mean? What is the value of that? Why are you even concerned? Why do you care about me? Make ya sweat, missa. What? Why are you so interested? It is annoying. It is annoying because I'm a woman of God and I ain't got time. It's like a gnat at a barbecue. You can't even enjoy your food. You got to be all what? Why y'all in this corner of the internet? Let me stay in my little nerd corner. Why you here? If you don't like me, you don't like this. I'm a fake this. I'm a voodoo witch. I'm a this. I'm a that. First of all, voodoo is African spirituality, okay? While you so affixed to what the colonizers say, you're trying to demonize an entire spiritual and cultural force. Who gives you the right? I'm not even insulted by that because who gives you the right? Who says what you say is good is good? I heard you's a whole demon worshiper. Why you are concerned about my God and me over here and what I say? Like, it's corny. And it's not just the big ones, it's the small ones. It's the individual people over here wagging. You need to do this. You better stop recording people's calls. You don't know. Listen, how are you saying, oh my God, you're so brilliant? Why do you think I'm smart and dumb in the same kind? Really? Why do you think I'm brilliant and dumb in the same friggin' comment? I am well versed on single party consent rules and laws. Listen to me. You know how many people I speak to and people I interact with in business, and they end up saying, are you an attorney? You come to this channel, whether you like me or not, whether you are here to interact with me, you come to this channel, you take in what I'm saying, and you still sitting behind your computer screen thinking I'm a dum-dum? But God gave me a valuable lesson about something today. Because I had a conversation with somebody today, and it was a follow-up to another conversation I had with them previously, where it was multiple people on the phone. And the individual literally said to me, oh, I wanted to interact with you alone because I don't want to interact with this other person because this other person is blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, way to be tone deaf. I said it to myself because, I understand when people have their listening ears on and when they have their venting ears on. And when someone has their venting ears on, they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. You literally have to say, I have to confer this to them another time. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, is there anything to confer? This person is clearly tone deaf. And literally spewing and espousing venom about somebody else, and everything that was alleged about the other person was really what that person was. I'm talking, it's like saying, let's say the person said, hey, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon, and said that's what the other person was. The whole time it was really them. I was thinking to myself, heavens to Murgatroyd, the tone deafness in this conversation. Tone deaf. But far be it from me to tell somebody they tone deaf. Perhaps that's what God called them to be. I've learned a long time ago, this life is a school. I want to get out of the way and let people have what's coming to them. And I don't say it from a mean perspective. I really mean it. Sometimes God wants you to not interact with people. They have to get what they have to get. For somebody to make a mockery about me saying Lionel B was trying to lure me out to cause me to be potentially killed, that's craziness. That's what was happening. But because they didn't see my tangible proof that, y'all remember the hackation was taking place, and I took my phone and I showed y'all the thing, the hackation was taking place. I don't have a thumbnail up here. Don't I have a thumbnail every night? These mugs gonna hack my system again. I can't even put up a thumbnail. Have you ever come to my live without a thumbnail? The hackation is heavy duty. It's bad enough I got to deal with these secret malicious agenda. These baby mamas that cybersecurity experts that ain't got nothing better to do, especially since boo thing is in jail. Well, you got a lot of spare time to worry about me. I really would like for you to skedaddle down the internet superhighway and go do something with yourself with your cybersecurity skills, except for hacking me. It would not even allow me to put a thumbnail on. Because why put a thumbnail on? When she puts up her thumbnail, they're all similar, so it has a signature pattern. People will see it and come to her live. So let's make sure she doesn't have a thumbnail so some people won't notice, especially the ones that maybe they don't get a notification. Listen, when I tell you I love y'all, my nerd herd, I love y'all. I love what we do here. I had somebody come into my comments, and listen, I can only speculate on what they meant by this because they didn't come to ask me a question. They didn't come to give a direct, directive. The comment literally says, wait, you only been doing this since February? I don't even know if it was a compliment or if it was like a what? You only been doing this since February? Actually, I've only been doing it really since October. The ones in February was just stuff I started putting up. I wasn't actively saying, okay, I'm going to be a content creator. I was doing interviews and all that, and I wasn't really a content creator. Let's say maybe August. What is the problem? Is there a problem because I've been doing this since, let's say, actively since August? Like, what's the problem? Why does my presence here bother people so much? I've gotten amazing emails and comments from people like, I had lost my relationship with God. I felt disconnected from it. I didn't reach out to him. I didn't feel like he knew me, and I didn't know how to get back to God. And I've been able to get back to God ever since I started watching your content. And I'm so eternally grateful. Wow. You know how amazing that makes me feel? I'm like, yes, I said to God, and I don't be like, yeah, girl, I'm about that life. I always say, to God be the glory. This ninja talk about I'm cursing people out in my comments. Who? Cursing out people's mother. Who? That don't even sound like me. You can't tell that to nobody because that's not me. What are you talking about? And reporting this on YouTube as if it is true news. What's your objective? What's the problem? Why y'all hate God? Why do people hate God so much? I don't get it. You are bothered by me over here with my passion, my love for God. I'm a total nerd. Y'all can see that I am a nerd. My daughter was laughing with me in the dopest mod on the phone. Like, mommy, I heard you. You be in there having your own little. I love a pun. I love a dad and a mom joke. I'm corny like that. And I be laughing myself. She said, a girl, I could hear you holding back the laughter. I be laughing listen, I tickle myself pink. I think I'm hilarious. I don't get why people are so. It made me even say, like, I'm not even gonna go there. And then I was just like, but how, I don't typically, it's not a part of my spirit to let people who don't like me or who, and I don't even, here's the thing, I don't even have this whole narrative of people that don't like me. I don't walk through the world like that. Now, do I think everybody likes me? Absolutely not. I'm not disillusioned. But to set yourself up to hate me for what? Make ya, boy, I can't understand it. I listen. I don't understand it at all. I don't. And I'm really like talking to God, like, do I really want to stay here? Do I really want to participate in this? I'm not trying to make myself the story. I'm not interested in that. I'm a survivor. I have other work to do. Anybody who doubts that, then you just have to doubt it. I'm not even going to try to convince you. I will let you know. When I started my docu-series and I started doing interviews pre-pandemic, see, I've been in these streets for a long time. I started my documentary before. I've been wrote this docu-series. We started interviewing people that were survivors of gun violence, lost their children to gun violence, their husband, their brother, whatever. Everybody was so upset with me on my team because I said, I'm not going to tell my story. I just want to give other people the chance to tell their stories. They were like, are you crazy? Are you insane? You have to tell your story. I was like, it's not about me. I'm just doing this job. I want to be a vessel for God. I had no intention of telling my story. We had to record mine. I wasn't going to do it. They were like, are you insane? You have to tell your story. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll leave mine for last. Then the whole team was upset with me. For last? You got to tell yours first to hook people in. I was like, do I want to hook people in, or do I want them organically to just come to the story? I had this back and forth with my team because I was like, I don't even want to friggin' put myself in it. I be having to tell my daughter, the trusty dusty show producer, when she make my thumbnails, I be like, make me smaller. Why are you making my face so big on the thumbnail? Like, people will literally be like, oh, look at how big she is on the. My daughter makes my thumbnails. There is literally there is not one single thing that people are not fighting to complain with. Whew, it's nasty around here. It's nasty around here. I'm offended by content creators who will willingly go on their channel and tell a story about me and willfully misrepresent who I am. You reporting on me, you're going to say, you're talking about Lionel B, but then you throw me in the mix and say, her and Lionel were just best friends the other day. How she saying he going to call her out to be unalive? Because it's the truth. Because it's the truth. Y'all who follow me watched me sit here talking to me. You watch me interview Adria. You know how I came about Adria? Lionel B. I was on the Sean Atwood show. Remember? I was on Sean Atwood. I was watching the show. They were talking about me. I went in the comments. I put something, and they were like, "Oh my God, would you like to come on? Can we drop you the link?" You know how long it took me to get on? I had to download some kind of app and do this and do that. I wasn't in the YouTube streets like that. I had to download. It took forever. They were like, "Go on." What is this thing called? I had to get on. What's the thing called? Discord. You know how long it took me to get into Discord? I said, I don't even know what any of this is. How do I navigate this? I started to just not go on because I couldn't navigate the Discord. This is not my forte. I eventually got on, got in. When I was on their show, remember I said Lionel B been trying to reach me since March 7th. I wasn't engaging because I thought it's strange that somebody's trying to lure me out. What did I say that was strange about? Have you seen a live in studio interview on his channel? No. You even say it in your thing. His things, she was creeped out because his things are not typically live. And he hasn't had a live since or before. You go on to tell the truth about how he's manipulative and this, and you call it when YouTube pimping goes wrong. But then you still try to ridicule and make it seem like I'm somehow, you're giving this this speculation and conjecture like maybe I was a part of it. Like, what? Are you insane? The only reason I came to speak to Lionel B was because I was on the Sean Atwood show and they said, we have somebody a content creator who really wants to meet you. They're a super fan. I was like, I have super fans? I haven't even been out here this long. Like, how I got super fans? And as soon as they said that, bloop, he popped on the screen. And they said, why don't you tell her your story? And he starts to tell me his story. He was homeless in a car. I was riveted. I was already deciding, yes, I think I'm going to be a content creator. I was riveted. You're homeless in a car with your child. You say to me the only two things of value you had was your child and an AK-47 in the trunk. That's what he said. Why'd you specify the AK-47? You could have told the story without the AK-47. You could have told the story without the AK-47. But I said, okay, I try to see people the right way. I'm like, perhaps maybe he was just saying that, he was giving me the fullness of the story, letting me know, he could have went two ways. He could have stayed on the straight and narrow and struggled and made it out the mud, got it out the mud with his son, or he could have decided to go the wrong way and take the AK-47 and do something he might regret that would jeopardize him and his child. I always skew everything positively. I'm like, look at this overcoming story. When he said he got out, he had to beg. He said, I never even told nobody this. I had to stand in front of the thing and beg people for money. I said, thank you for sharing that part with me. You didn't have to. I saw that as a redemptive thing. I said, God, you just broke through that whole thing. God was testing you and you made it through. Because it's my sincere belief that's why I don't take my videos down. If you truly are interested in the truth, watch them in succession. Watch them in succession. If you're interested in the truth, it takes nothing for you to really see the truth if you're interested in it. But if you're interested in salaciousness, then you just want to come cherry pick little parts and try to make it seem like, I'm somebody nefarious. I'm already the survivor of a pew pew. Why would I think that that's funny? Why would you think that that's funny? Why would that be a source of something you would make a joke of and ridicule me for? Why? How many times do I need a pew pew? How many? Like it's a joke to you? And here's the thing. I used to watch this content creator. A lot. I always felt like she did a valiant search for what she perceived the truth to be. But now I got to side-eye everything. Because if you are willfully trying to make me look malicious or shady, you're ridiculing me. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. If you're willing to ridicule me, then now I got to side eye everything you do. I came from a pure place. That man been trying to reach me since March. I felt like this is inappropriate. I did not bite. Then when somebody says super fan, I'm thinking, what is it? Is he, I always say, well, does somebody have a, usually when people seem like they have this great affinity for me, it's predicated on the fact that either they were a survivor of gun violence, somebody they know really close was a survivor of gun violence, and they are intrigued by that regard, that aspect of it. And I'm always willing to talk to someone who was the victim of that. I'm always willing to. How do I turn into a mockery? I created a safe space for people who present themselves as victims. But you know what God had to deal with me and said? That's what this was all about. See, early in even before he was arrested, early in when the indictment came down and all this stuff was going down, they were trying to press to have the identity of the victim unseated. They wanted her true identity to be unseated. God dealt with me today when I got off the phone with the dopest mod. I was like, my stomach felt disheartened. And I was just like, what is this? What is all of this? And God said, think, you have the answer within you. You have the answer within you. And I just stopped for a second. I turned the TV down and I was just like, what is all? And I didn't even know. I didn't know that they revealed the Jane Doe until y'all just told me just now. Listen, when I tell you I came in and saw that one story, I was so disgusted. Even my daughter was pissed. She came to the room. She was like, she had this look on her face. She's a 17-year-old girl. She don't want people to make a mockery out of her mother. What is your justification for making a mockery out of it? Because I created a safe space on the internet to be able to talk to other people who are survivors of things. You notice in my video, I did not say, so who stuck you where? Who did this? Who that? Who slept with you? Never once. I'm not concerned with any of that. That's not my zip code or my address. I always say, who are you? I've been through a trial. I know you should not discuss the merits. I don't ask them any of the merits of the case. I said, who are you as a person? Tell me who you are. What did you want to be when you were a child? When did you feel like your life got derailed? What would you like to do with your life? What do you see for your future? If you could have any kind of life and do anything, and I could snap my hands and give it to you, what would that be? That is what I say. That's the discussion I've had. That is discussion I've had. I don't ask people this, that, and the third, because I'm not here to get into that. I want to humanize you and provide a platform. I come at it as I trust people, but I realize in these dirty YouTube streets, you shouldn't trust anyone. And God revealed to me that's what he was doing. He wanted, the previous judge denied the Jane Doe from having to reveal her identity. And there's a long-standing law. Don't trust me. Go look it up. Go look it up. There's a long-standing law in America. The identity of grape victims, YouTube, is not revealed in an attempt to provide privacy, respect their privacy, and all of that. Because people put a scarlet letter on you when you're the victim of things like that. And so I could only imagine that, I could only imagine that they shame people if they know you were victimized by that. And so that has been a longstanding rule. But I just realized since earlier in the case, he's been trying to say her identity needs to be shown. Her identity needs to be shown. Take off the blinders. We want to see who she is. That's what this whole Misha, Adria, Lionel B thing was. They created a whole ruse with Misha assuming the identity of the Jane Doe, saying it was her, to force the judge to say, okay, let's really prove who it is. Take your identity, reveal your identity. So I bet you she disappeared back under the rock she came from. This scallywag heifer had the audacity to come online and say, I was a part of the parties and the freak off and she slept with me. You Listen, now I'm a spiritual woman, but I keep telling y'all, I am flesh too, and God ain't done working on me. You, gal, me would I never, me would I sooner go in at a New York City train station and lick the floor. You see, me would sooner lick the seat of a toilet in a Macy's. Me slept with you, child. The level of disrespect, the level. You notice I didn't come out and deal with that. I said, nah, man, not me. I am not going to meet them in the gutter where they exist. Let them go on by themselves. What? When I heard that, I didn't even watch the thing. Somebody came and said, "You slept with her?" I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" She's saying that she slept with you and y'all know each other. I said, I never saw these girls in person. They know me from a screen. That's when I started saying, something don't pass the smell test. I know of them through him. So how all of a sudden now they come that they slept with me? I said, this was a ruse the whole time. He could try to bait and switch everybody all he want. He is the center of this. He is the center of this, and somebody is driving it. The whole Misha and Adria debacle was Adria was truly a victim. He utilized Adria and he utilized Misha to manipulate Adria, to make her feel like her it was a mutually beneficial, giving each other validity thing. What was said behind closed doors, I have no idea. They both can. I literally said, he even said, I'm going to pay Adria for you to interview her because she don't interview without money. I'm going to pay her. That's what he said. He paid Adria so she could talk to me. He paid her. And I was like, wow, that's okay. If that's what you want to do, huh? Okay. He paid her. And I said, my only request is that she not be slithering around on a bed or inebriated. I want her seated at a desk and not inebriated. I want to humanize her. I want to talk to her. That was my request. I feel like he took advantage of her too. But here's the deal. When you're a crash out dummy, you take advantage of yourself, because she was all too willing to participate in the tomfoolery. And that's how it got so out of control. You're not supposed to allow nobody to, and that's why I said I wanted to humanize them. That's it. I don't ask nobody about who this, that. I don't ask about those things. I ask you about yourself. And I also found it strange when I said, who are you? And you told me all about your mother and your sister. And this one had a red afro in high school and was prom queen at King High School and all this stuff. I don't understand. When I ask you, who are you? And you can't tell me who you are, that means you don't know who you are. It means you don't know who you are. And that broke my heart first. I was like, my God, she can't even tell me who she is. And I understood that whatever ailed her was deeper than whatever she endured over there. Yeah, the picture was in the Vibe magazine. It was easy to verify she absolutely was over there. But under what capacity? And then why did you let, through your unwillingness to hear, and listen, I'm not here to discuss why it was the way it was. I'm simply saying that's what it was. Y'all saw it. This wasn't no private conversation. Y'all saw it. The whole Misha debacle. I also learned about Misha through them too. I thought it was content creator kindness. Oh, there's this other girl. Would you like to interview her? Me and my gullible self. I am guilty of being gullible here and really thinking that somebody was, wow, let me pass this person on to you. It was all a plot. Why did you try to use me? Why did you try to use me? I like information. I like talking about things. I like sharing. Hey, guys, I had people reach out to me and say, hey, that cemetery thing, can he do it in any state? That's what I like. That's where I'm a vessel. That's how I want to be used. You want to use me? Use me for information of how your life can be better. What can I share with you? How can I enlighten you? I named my child Nirvana. Nirvana means the highest level of spiritual enlightenment. This ain't no, somebody said it's a her talking about God. That's a grift. How? So you mean I was grifting God all them years ago when I had this child and I decided to name her Nirvana? I also created a nonprofit organization. And that preceded her in life by a whole bunch of years. I created that right a little after I got powed. Nirvana, necessary initiatives reinforcing values and new attitudes. I was grifting God then too. I was grifting God when I got baptized. Like, what are you talking about? Making up stupidness because you hate God and you hate yourself. You're going to call my spirituality a grift? Here's the joke. God didn't just give me, I'm not just a spiritual vessel like that. He gave me an empathic and prophetic gift. Listen here. Now, petty goes two ways. If I wanted to get in the muck and the mire, and I wanted to be nasty, I have a gift of sight. I could look at people and see all that's going on with them. I could feel your energy and I could tell who's sick. Don't make me drag y'all down these YouTube streets. If you want to get nasty, I keep telling y'all, I choose to walk according to my spiritual way. But I could backtrack and choose to be flesh. And I will drag y'all down these YouTube streets and muddy and reveal all your tea. Don't do it. You don't want that side of me. You don't. Like I say to, like the Incredible Hulk used to say, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me if I was angry. I come to my side of these YouTube streets. I am telling people about my love. I am telling people about my love for God. I am sharing information. That's what I'm about. Why y'all uncomfortable with that? Why y'all hate good? Who broke y'all? Your mothers didn't hold you? You know, we know about the rhesus monkey thing, in psychology. That's Psych 101. They teach us that as soon as you get into psychology. They teach you about the rhesus monkey. They created 2 wire rack bodies and they put them on some poles on a stand near a cage with the rhesus monkeys. They put a bunch of rhesus monkeys in this cage. And they wanted to figure out nurture versus nature. What is more important to a developing child, whether it's a monkey child, a human child, what's more important? And so on one rhesus monkey, they created a duct system with like a breast and a nippling system, and they had it hooked up to a mechanism, and the baby could like nurse on the nipple of the rhesus monkey, and they would get sustenance. It would give them milk. But that one had no fur on the wire cage. It was just cold wire cage. But it did have like a nursing system attached to it that would replicate a mother. An endless stream of milk. They could nurse all they wanted. The next rhesus monkey had no breast milk system, but they put a fake fur on it to feel like they were rubbing up against an actual monkey, a monkey parent. And so they took the rhesus monkeys out first and let them feel the fur being first. And so the rhesus monkey rubbed up on the fur being like, oh, it's my mama? Okay. And then they took them back for a while, control experience, and they don't let them have access to anything. But then they take them and they give them access to the rhesus monkey with the nursing system on it. And so they fighting. They want that milk. Mama, they fighting for the milk. And then they took them off of that and they gave them nothing for a while to create the control environment. And then they let them out of the cage to freely access both monkeys. Do you know all the monkeys clung to the fur and they were holding on to the fur one, but leaning over trying to get the milk from the other one. Because nurture is more important to them than nature. But people who never got nurtured, they rise and sink to the lowest common denominator of their own nature. And that's what creates these savages out here. Ain't nobody hug you when you was a baby. So you're a savage. You don't have connections, natural connections that you have when you are held against the bosom of your mom, and you feel that symbiosis between your heartbeat and theirs. Y'all, some of y'all ain't got no nurture. You only got nature, and your nature is mud. Mud. Y'all showing yourself. The ones who nobody hugged, the ones who nobody, said, great job, honey. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Look how beautiful you are. Come and give mommy a kiss. Who's daddy's big boy? You're great. A lot of y'all was deprived. I could tell. I could absolutely tell. And I am saddened for you. I'm saddened for you. That must be horrendous. It must be horrendous. But I didn't cut you. Don't bleed on me. I know me cut you. Go back and have a conversation with the person who neglected you, or go seek therapy. And stop spewing, Kill Bill style all over everybody. Stop spraying everybody with something that they didn't cause the hurt from you. Y'all over here trying to start with me simply because I like positive things. I like to laugh. I like to have fun with my people. And every now and then when the trolls roll in, I will collect and gather you. Because yes, I'm grown and I'm human. And God said, cry loud, spare not, and anger but sin not. So I'm going to collect and gather you. What's my premise here? When you come in, take your shoes off at the door, put your fuzzy socks on, and let's get comfortable. Let's talk. Be respectful in the chat. Misspell the salty words. Be nice to each other. And cite your sources. If you come here with something, cite your sources. You can't come here and just say any old thing. You can't come here and be like, the Mona Lisa was an alien. Cite your sources. She might have been an alien, but cite your sources. That's what I ask. Don't come here with foolishness. You're being friggin'. Meanwhile, I got to waste my time talking about the negativity when I got a whole family of love that I'm sitting here with, that I'm about to deprive because I don't want to be in these YouTube streets anymore. I don't like it. I don't like this treachery. I don't like this evilness. I don't like this, parasitic personality types. I don't like the jealousy, the envy. Why? What do you care? What do you care what I'm doing over here? Don't YouTube send you your checks? Why are you concerned with me? Really? Why? Why are you concerned with me? Concern yourself with what you got to do. You all profess to be living that life, and I'm going on my trip to blah, 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 and I'm off to my blah, blah, blah. So why you worried? I'm sitting on my couch in my bedroom. What happened? You don't like my peeling stick? What happened? You don't like my mirror? What? You think I shouldn't have Kelly green velvet? What's the problem? You find I have too many fedoras? What, you don't like women in hats, glasses? What? Go somewhere. Go somewhere and worry about your business. Stop trying to be saboteurs, because I'm going to tell you something. Lionel B didn't work by himself. God is lifting the veil off of my eye. Show me all the connections. All the connections. See, here's the thing about me. I have eyes to see and ears to hear. And I ain't saying I can't be fooled. I'm not saying I can't be fooled, because I love to give people grace and mercy. So while you're making a mockery out of me, she better use that discernment. The same people who have no discernment. If somebody put discernment in a Gucci bag with $1 million sticking out of it, you wouldn't recognize it. So how you come talk to me? You criticizing me. Imagine people who hate God and don't know nothing about God talking to me about you need to this and you need to that. How would you know? What do you know about spirituality? What you know about this Bible? What you know about my relationship with God? What do you know? You don't even have one yourself. Because if you had one iota of respect for God and with Him, you wouldn't be out here being an evildoer. You's a whole evildoer, a bunch of y'all. Jealous, hateful, envious, all the things that you shouldn't be, all the things that God calls you to not be. You are. So how dare you try to direct and give me the narrative? And listen, I love advice. I love that people come and say, "Hey sis, hey sis, consider this," or "Hey sis, consider that." But some of y'all be straight out here talking to me like I'm 2.5, and I'm holding a wobbly cup of red juice over your white carpet. Why are you talking to me like an idiot? What's your problem? What's your problem? Coming to give me instruction about the most basic of things. Really? Like, I'm up for conversations. I love an exchange of information. I absolutely love an exchange of information. Why do you all think that you get to tell me who I can have on my channel? Maybe God is doing a thing with certain people. How about God's will? Thy will be done, Lord. Huh? Why y'all so always quick to cast somebody off in damnation? Why? I try to explain to people for years. I had a girl that used to come to my church. Excuse me, my shop, aka my church. But they used to come to my shop. And so I hadn't seen her for a long time. She came to get a weave, and it was a Friday night. Friday nights are different. Friday, Saturday, a lot of times I used to do something called cocktails and convo. I created it way back in the 1900s. I see all y'all using cocktails and conversation. I created that way back in the 1900s. I used to do it in my shop in Brooklyn. But I would do cocktails and convo. And so what I would do is put out a spread in the front in the waiting area. I would put out some wine and little hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. So the ladies can feel like, they got a little after work spot and come and get your hair. They interact with each other. I've always created a harmonious environment where even the people that come to the salon, even when they first come and they don't know each other, they develop friendships. Now they got friendships outside of the salon. They hang out together. We do things, all types of stuff. I've always created that harmonious environment. I believe that women should be friends. I know a lot of people come from the ilk of, don't tell her she look nice. Her head's going to get big. You sound dumb. So what if she feels good about a compliment? What's your problem? That's how you could tell the muddy. If you got people around you and you're like, "Oh, I like her blouse. Excuse me, miss, and they're like, don't tell her that. She going to be thinking she all that. Who are you around? Shake those people off. They are parasites. You hear me? Shake them off. You don't need to be around people like that. If you see somebody that looks nice I saw a lady in Home Depot today. She had on a little thing and it's her name thing and it said Natasha. Her hair was short. Her hair looked really jazzy and healthy and pretty and moist. Like it was so soft. I was like, I said, "Okay, queen." And she had some little stones right here. I said, "Okay, queen, I see you. You girl, you did it. You shutting it down in here." And she just started laughing. She was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I said, and I looked at her and her name tag said Natasha. I said, "Your name is Natasha?" I said, "My father calls me Natasha." I said, "Oh, my father's right here. I know it. Whenever that shows up, I know he's here with me." I said, "My father calls me Natasha." She said, "What you mean he calls you Natasha? What's your name?" I said, "My name is Natanya, but he calls me Natasha." She said, "Oh," she said, "Why he do that?" I said, "Listen, my mother called me where she wanted to call me. My father called me where he wanted to call me." And she was saying, "And my family called me Nati." And I said, "That's what my family calls me. That's what my grandmother only calls me Nati my whole life." And we both started chuckling. And I said, and then I heard her say something. I said, "But wait, what is that I hear? Where you from?" She said, "Trinidad." I said, "What? Me too, girl." She started laughing. She said, "Oh, God, yeah, Skill, what you need? What you need?" And we just was having a good old time. That is who I am all the time. She said, "Oh my God, you are so nice. You're so," and I could see a monitoring spirit. There was a chick in the corner. She had a little blonde ponytail, and she, when I was looking around for what I was looking for, she was there. She didn't assist me or even make an attempt to assist me. But this young lady, Natasha, as she walked up, she was like, "Hi, what can I do for you?" And so I was like, "Okay, sis, I see you. I see you." First of all, I appreciated her willingness to help. Second of all, she was cute. And it's not a problem for me to tell her, "Hey, Kaylee, Yep, you caught me live. Shout out to you, girl. And it was just a nice little interaction, and we had a little, and that's my vibe. I love to make people feel good, especially when I see that she had the little gemstones and the crystals, and she had a nice little alignment and little setup she did. And I said, yes, girl, I see, because I know it took time for her to put all that right there. And it wasn't crazy looking and extravagant. It literally just fit her aesthetic so much. It looked natural. And I was like, wow. I said, okay, honey, come through, miss. I see you. And she had a boot on her foot. I said, what happened with your foot? What do you do? And she said, going up the stairs. I thought she was going to say skiing, something. Nope, just going up the stairs. And I was like, oh, you better be careful. And we just laughed, and she came. She helped me with what I needed. It was a very pleasant exchange. So pleasant. So very pleasant. And then I have to walk in my house and see people making a mockery about me. Listen, if I say someone has done something with the potential to lure me out, take me serious. See, one thing about this PTSD, it makes you hyper focus. It makes you very, very hyper focused on your safety. And you can pick up on little things. Number one, you're trying to get me to come out of the safety of my confines and my privacy to give you my information so you can buy my ticket. Why wouldn't you just, if you really wanted to speak to me, why wouldn't you just give me the money? Who you think you are that you have to hold my hand? Who you think you are that you have to hold my hand? That's like a dummy getting ready to go assassinate somebody and they stop at Starbucks. Well, you're not easy. You're not easy at all. You got a spirit of cacao, but you need your double macchiato? I don't get it. I don't get it. You're so stupid to put in writing that you're inviting me out to do an exclusive first. I'm the first person, exclusive in studio thing. You'll be my first. I know I want to keep you safe in this and that. What you thought that? As soon as you said that, my antenna went up. Cause why you think you're so interested in my safety? I'm safe. The fact that I'm already safe, I keep myself safe. Lottie Dottie right there beside me. She right here. I could touch her. Hey, Lottie. But you're gonna come to me. I know your safety is important. I want to keep you safe, and I know you've been traumatized and all. Why you say that? In psychology, we call that a tell. It's a tell. You're telling on yourself. You understand? You understand? In psychology, that's a tell. That's like when somebody say, I ain't lying. Why would you have to preface this? So what you been doing all this time? I promise you, I ain't gonna lie. Then what were you doing all this time? Were you lying then? If you have to preface what you're about to say with, I promise I ain't lying, you're lying. Or you're making a valiant attempt to hide and conceal the fact that you're lying. But anybody with eyes to see, ears to hear, or just a smidgen of wisdom knows, see right through you. But you took it upon yourself to say, I know you've been traumatized, and I know you've been victimized, and your safety is important. I want to keep you safe. You're going to be my first exclusive in-studio guest. Ain't had one yet. Where they at? Why I'm so exclusive? I mean, I know. Listen, I already know I'm exclusive. But why do you find me so exclusive? Why you find me so exclusive to be your in-studio guest, but you still ain't had one? Nobody else exclusive out there? How come you didn't have Adria and Lemisha in your in-studio? They're not exclusive? Come in, no semi-exclusive, but what happened with them? You deviated from your norms so drastically, you told on yourself. And instead of showing contrition and stopping and apologizing and making right, you literally tried to bully and strong arm me to take my video down. After I had already done a glowing video of you, you did it to yourself. Then you out here cussing out the whole internet. You did it to yourself. You see what greed does? Greed makes you short-sighted. You don't plan out good. See, some of y'all so basic. You basic, because I know there's monitoring spirits watching. So I'm not talking to my nerd herd family. Not y'all. So, like Judge Judy says, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. In New York, we used to say, don't blow smoke up my and tell me it's a barbecue. You're so short-sighted. You're so short, literally and figuratively. You're so short-sighted. And you're so thirsty. Anybody could come and charlatan, give you the sleight of hand. And next thing you know, you think you pulling a fast one on me. Boo-boo, I got a gift and I'm brilliant. You what? And that's why God showed me everybody involved. That's how you snuck up behind to be super fan. And it's funny because I did your interview. We talked. I interviewed you on my channel. Your story was riveting. You were presented to me as a super fan. I talked to you. I heard your story. I said, wow, that could inspire people. Let me interview you. We'll both do each other's interviews. But your greed. That's why God shut down. We did an interview that was phenomenal that nobody will ever get to see. Because God knew what you was plotting. God said, I'm not going to let you do that. You tried to upload the video to post it, and it would not upload. You reached out to your technical support. They told you, have me offload the app off my phone and reload it back. I offloaded. God said, I put that back on your phone. God wouldn't let me put that thing on my phone for nothing. I was like, what is this? I even got the trusty dusty show producer. Teenagers ain't got no time to spare for no foolishness. She couldn't do it. She even said, hold on, let me put another app on your phone. She put another app on my phone and went right up there. And it used more megabytes or whatever than the original app you had. And she was like, well, it's not a space thing. She was like, I don't know what this is. Something wrong. But God knew. God knew what you was plotting on. I'm a woman of God. You're going to besmirch my integrity and go say, me and that devil clad girl. Me and that devil clad girl. Surely you jest. Surely you jest. Are you mad? That's where you messed up. This junkie ass. She's a junkie. Nobody scratched like that unless they're a junkie. And me and them. And I was actively involved in a running lawsuit with this man, and he paid me, even though I was. Why he ain't just cut out the middleman and pay me at the freak off? Are you dumb? Y'all so stupid. Y'all are so stupid. Can't get your facts straight. Look at the videos of her looking off camera. Somebody coaching her off camera. She dummy and they dummy. She looking off camera trying to read things, and when she can't get it, she. Are you mad? And you can't mix me and blend me with them, the gal. I was trying to humanize them. I was presented with them as these are victims. I saw the picture of Adrienne. I'm like, oh, wow, is that her? Okay. You brought the other one to my attention, both of them. And then when your thing started going off the rails, you tried that. That's why I said, I won't even address it. You cannot disprove a negative. You cannot disprove a negative. I'm not going to even, I said, even to another content creator that contacts me all the time. She said, this is what he's saying about you. I sent her scripture. She's like, oh my God, you're such a good woman. This is what he's saying about you. I sent her another scripture. What, you was bringing me something? Me? What you was coming to bring? Oh, I'm getting my bag. Oh, excuse me. Trusty dusty sidekick. Anyway, I don't come back to argue. I could have easily came back in these streets. Now, when that original video was done, I said, shame on you, brother. You should take that down. That's a poor reflection. And remember, if you look at my video, I said, you're hurting your own channel. God blessed you with something. You are killing your own thing. I don't even have malice. You should take it down. It's not pleasing. You're going to start text messaging me, trying to bully me. I got those messages. Like, these phones keep records, right? Oh, Lord. It's quite all right, honey. It's quite all right. And matter of fact, let me put this on That conversation has merit. Shout out to Gina Tardy. She says, where does bug come from? Shout out to Gina Tardy. She says, welcome to your next spiritual upgrade. Go deeper in the word. Absolutely. Oh, trust me. Trust me, I have. And God dealt with me today and said, that's what this Misha thing was all about. It was a ruse to create dissension, to make them force, to make the judge force the Jane Doe to reveal her identity. See, if somebody else comes out and says, no, it's me, I promise you that's me, and the Jane Doe is a Jane Doe, well, then the court would be like, wait a minute, 3-card money, who is it? I guarantee you their heifer will disappear now, because like I came to the chat and y'all told me they revealed the Jane Doe's identity. That's all he wanted. Listen, it is about access. As soon as he knows the witnesses' names and the victim's name, they start a campaign of harassment. I guarantee you, by the time that girl gets to court, she's going to tell about all kinds of harassment to her, her family, her hacking her, everything. That's all it was. Access. And this scratchy, itchy but scratchy. Listen, I'm trying to stay in my faith walk. But I promise you, with that itchy, scratchy last few interviews, I could smell tuna fish from the TV. Okay? Hear me when I tell you, I could smell cat food or tuna fish, something tangy and just rank and nasty. And you want to mix me? I came to give you friggin' humanity. So when people look at you, they treat you as a woman, as a human, and not some old bangarang. And you try to come and tear me down. And the whole purpose, I told you, see, I don't want to sound self-righteous, but a lot of this was the continued harassment of me. Told y'all I've been harassed because you could have made your way, and they made their way through a whole bunch of YouTubers. How come they wasn't making a mockery out of those other YouTubers? They've been on a lot of channels, but all people want to focus on is me. Why? Ask yourself that. Continued harassment. It's continued harassment. I've seen, in fact, the person who made a mockery out of me showed at least 5 different people's shows that she's been on. But you ain't make a joke out of none of them other people but me and Lionel. Why? Why can't you see the writing on the wall? It is continued harassment of me. I never said, who did there? Who did you sleep with? Who stuck you here? Who was in the room? I never did none of that. I said, tell me who you are. When you were a kid, who did you want to be when you grow up? What did you want your life to look like? I humanized you and you tried to tear me down. Listen to me. I already told y'all a story the other day. When God told me earlier last year, a year ago, God told me, have a birthday party for my mother, no matter what. There got times where it was financially tight because I ended up paying for it by myself. And God, and I promise you, the first hall I rented, the girl said, well, it's running out of time. My girlfriend had rented her spot. And she told me about her. I saw it on Instagram. It looked nice. All dressed up. It looked great. And she said, well, listen, I said, but it doesn't look so big. I don't know. She's like, well, tell you what, pay your deposit because you're running out of time. And I want to make sure I have that date available for you. And people have been calling about that date already. If it doesn't work for you, I'll give you your deposit back. I said, okay, that sounds fine. My girlfriend was already booked, fully booked. I went to a party at her facility for my homegirl. But I said to her, listen, it's not going to work. It is actually too small, so I need a bigger space. Really, it was too hood in the area. And I was like, my mother will cuss me out if I have a party. My mother is very demure, very cutesy, very elegant, very classy. She would be like, and so I knew I couldn't use that facility. I said, yeah, it's too, plus it was too small. I said, listen, I had the opportunity to go down and look at it. It's too small, so I'll just take the money back. I ain't giving you shit. It immediately try to get froggy, start cussing, acting like a banshee. Classic desperate chick. And I was just like, that's not what you said to me the other day. This girl, I said, listen here. You think you're going to steal from me? I'm having a party for my mother. God told me to have this party. You ain't stealing from me, boo. You stealing from God. I said, you better give me back my money. I said, I promise you, this money gonna dig a hole in your life. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna wish you gave me my money back. It's gonna tear you down. That girl, my home girl, the same one whose party I went to, I don't want to say her name lest you, because I don't want to throw her in these YouTube streets. It's nasty out here. And I don't think she would have a problem for me saying her name because this is all provable by facts, pictures, the pictures of her party at the girl spot. Literally said, she sent me a message. I was on live with y'all. She sent me a message, but I was on live. I didn't see it. I turned my phone on silent. So by the time I got off live with y'all, took a shower, it was 1:30 in the morning. I laid down in the bed, started going through the little messages and look at the replay. And I see her say, girl, you up? Call me. And then she sends me and then the messages in the thing. And it said, we regret to inform you, the girl that stole the money is dead. 1 year ago. 1 year ago. She died. She's in her 20s. She's dead. Guess what? The day we started beefing was the day she died. The day she was buried was the day I sent that last message, said, you're going to regret this with every fiber of your being. I promise you, it's going to tear your life down. That's the day they buried her. Guess what? Even worse. And I'm not happy she's dead. Oh, I'm mortified. But guess what? Even worse. I drove past her funeral, didn't even know it was her. Guess what's even worse? They buried, she lived across town. Her business was across town. She lived across town. Across town. Listen to me. They buried that girl a few blocks away from my house. That's where her funeral was held. I drove past it and had no idea it was her. She sent me the message. The girl, the funeral was Saturday. Monday night, I was on live with y'all. She sent me that message. They buried her the day of my last message. So I said to my girlfriend, I said, oh, I went back and looked at the text. I said, oh my God, her funeral was the day that I sent the last text. She said, I know, Ab, that's why I sent it to you. She's like, my God, you told her it's going to tear your life. I said, you remember that? She said, Ab, I was on the phone with you. You kept telling her, don't do this. God doesn't play about me. You know how heartbroken I am? I got that on my spirit. And I got to have people making a mockery of me on YouTube? Why? Why? You think you're going to prosper? Listen, the word says, touch not my anointed. Hear me good. I didn't write this book. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Thank you. And shout out to, hold on. Y'all don't hear me though. I'm not saying this as no, I'm big and bad. I am mortified by it. Because I've seen people do things to me before, and I've said to them, don't waste your time. God doesn't play about me. Like, he doesn't play about me. Don't do it. He's going to slap you down. I'm telling you, I've seen broken legs, crash into car, all kind of thing. Shout out to Auntie Leah for the super chat. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. Auntie Leah said, keep your head up, queen. Thank you so much. God bless you, boo. I appreciate it. I told that girl, don't do it. I told her, don't do it. She's 20-something-year-old girl. She is gone. She's an ancestor. She is of the ages. She is no more. She never even got to experience motherhood. She's young. She never even got a chance to become a mother. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. But y'all gonna learn to stop playing with people, with God's children. I don't know what else y'all go. Plus, we in the age of Aquarius. I keep telling y'all. You know why everything's coming out? Because only truth is allowed to reign. God is going to break down walls. I keep telling y'all didn't hear the prophet Cat Williams in the beginning of the year. This is the reckoning 2024. This is the other side of Kirk Franklin singing. This is the reckoning. You know what a reckoning is? Do your Google searches. Do your Google searches. It's the reckoning. He doesn't play about his children. Y'all keep thinking that God is this little, you can make these transactional relationship with God like doot, 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 and get the money out. You want to make God an ATM. A lot of spiritual hypocrites out here. God is not your ATM. You cannot make your interaction with God transactional. You have to have a real, full-fledged, solid relationship with God. He doesn't play. I pray for my entire family before my feet touch the ground. I had people saying on the internet, this is my grift. You call my relationship with God a grift? Baby, some of y'all, and see, here's the thing. Some of y'all are anonymous, hiding behind the computer screen. So when you meet your fate and your finger them crumple up and twist up like an old claw, we're not gonna be able to see it. We're not gonna know. Y'all ain't gonna come volunteer. I mean, unless you are, come volunteer. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Lord. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love y'all so much. I love my nerd herd so much. But my spirit is disquieted. I promise you, I'm going to seek God's face and ask him, what should I do? How do I proceed? I was telling you about the girl that came to my shop. So one night she's in the shop and she's holding court. She's all, she bought herself a little 24-inch bust down. This was years ago. And she was like, yeah, because I was talking to this guy, and I was talking to a few guys because I'm single. I'm just dating. I'm doing me, and he stopped giving me stuff, and I cut him off. And then, oh yeah, I used to hang out with this girl, and she said, so I cut her off. And I said, why are you cutting everybody off? So because if I don't get nothing from them, they ain't giving me nothing. What I need them for, I'm cutting them off. I don't need them. I said, but where did you get this message that every time God sent somebody to your life that they were supposed to give you something? If you're in a relationship or interacting with somebody on a close personal relationship and they don't give you anything, it's because God sent them to you so you can give them something. But I got people in my chat, you need to stop talking to this one and you need to go away from this one. And maybe God is sending me to give them something. Maybe there's an anointing that I have to share. Maybe there's a word I have to give that's going to affect their life. You availing yourself of it. Why? Who are you to possess me? You need to only talk to me and us. Don't talk to them over there. Who are you? That's why some of y'all can't get your blessings answered, because you're making your relationship with God transactional. And you trying to stand in the way of what God is doing. God grants permissive will, aka free will, and God's will. Listen here. I done a lot with some God, with some free will. And I know y'all have too. If you know what I know, you better default to a lot of that God's will. Some of y'all will drive yourself off the cliff with all this free will. Y'all ain't got the judgment of a rock. You better let God do what he doing. You got to step back and be a vessel. You got to let God do what he's doing. Who are you to be like, oh, we could avail ourselves of you. We could enjoy your content. You could pray for us, but don't talk to them, that one, and that one, and that one over there. Don't talk to them. They block, and block. Who are you? Who are you to come tell me who to talk to? Who are you to tell me who's entitled to God's blessing? And perhaps God sent them to give me something, teach me something, show me something. Improve my walk, my spirit walk, my grace, my mercy, whatever. Who are you to give directives? And where you are doing that for your life? A lot of y'all got a whole lot of you need to do it. What you need to do it. If I was you, you need to. And what's going on in your house? Sitting in a pissy smelling room, ain't cleaned up, don't got a broom, couldn't sweep if you wanted to, and you directing my life? And let's see, oh, my coach look nice and comfy. Huh? You got to tell me everything. I'm 54. How did I live without y'all? All the judges and the creators. How? All of the what you need to do. And if I was you, I would. And you need to. How did I exist for 54 years without you? Because you come on my page every day. There's somebody on my page that was like, why are you answering everybody's comment but mine? I'm talking caps flying. And I said, what exactly did you want? So what you want is not a comment. You don't want to leave a comment. Why exactly do you need my undivided attention? What exactly do you need? Demanding. Why are you ignoring me? Why are you talking to everybody but me? Why are you ignoring my comments? All of your comments are disrespectful, salty no bomboclat, and rude. I tell my child not to talk to people who act like that. Why would I pay you any attention? Perhaps if you came with a bit of tact, some decorum, some act right, some respect, a little grace and mercy, I'll be in there chatting with you. I talk to a lot of y'all. I talk to a lot of y'all. Don't I be answering y'all things? People will say, "Can you pray for me?" This, that. I stop right on screen. The chat be going, "Can you?" I pray. But how much? What do you want from me? How much do you want from me? Hmm? My ligaments, tendons, capillaries, what? What else do you need? Can I keep something for me? Can I make my own decisions? What do you want? Literally demanded. Why are you not answering my message? Why are you ignoring me? You are crusty no bomboclat in them chats. Why should I talk to you? You're not my cup of tea. We still get to pick and choose who we want to talk to. You're not my cup of tea. My mother said, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I talk to people in the chat. I give prayer. I get I'll be like, go on, girl, or yes, queen, or Asheo, throw my little prayer hands up. I talk to everybody. But every time I pass your comment all through the chat, you're disrespectful. You're shady. You're taking sneak this. I'll leave you to your devices. You ain't talking to me. And the devil cannot come into your home but by your invitation. I realize when I get on the screen, I'll be like, come on in, come on in. And the monitoring spirits are slithering in through the internet waves, slithering all up and through. I know a lot of y'all don't care about me. You're not here because you like. I know most of y'all love me. I could tell my nerds, I could tell my active people. And listen, there's people that watch and don't type. I feel y'all too. I could be quite an introvert. I'm an ambivert, first of all. For those of you who know, if you know, you know. An ambivert is an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert. We are both. There are I feel very comfortable talking to y'all because I'm sitting in my house on my couch. I'm looking at a screen. Now I know I'm talking to people because I'm interacting with you guys. But I also have times where I'm in the supermarket and I'm like, "Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Oh, how's your daughter doing? Da, da, da. Oh, yeah, how's you?" Because I strike up conversation with people, and then I'm in a mood where I go, where they'll be like, "Oh, you could go to this line right here," and I'm like, "I'm fine over here," and I go to the little U scan because I don't feel like talking to nobody. She's open, very nice. Let the Lexinity go. I don't want to talk, and I have the right. I don't want to interact with humans. I have my days where I don't want to be bothered. I would much rather interact with the machine and she be like, make sure you scan the next thing. And you can't scan it again. Now weigh your grapes. I don't, and I even be like, shut up, supermarket Siri, shut up. I don't even want to talk to her sometimes. Okay? You can't buff me up and tell me who me get to talk to. You can't tell me, say, me have to talk to you. I don't want to. When I want to, I will come. Because trust me, I when people say, "Who are you?" I say, "I'm a mother. I'm a widow. I'm a spirited conversationalist." That's how I describe myself. A spirited. That means me chat enough. And I talk plenty. Oh, trust me, when I'm ready to talk, you can't stop me. So why are you trying to bully me and tell me what I need to do? Listen, I love this interact. I love this interaction. I love my nerd herd. But you monitoring spirits, you gotta go. Because I'm gonna convert you. Trust and believe. You keep coming around here, I'm gonna convert you. You might not think so. You might be like, oh, I ain't converting her. This is a grip. And next thing you know, you're gonna be like, praise the Lord. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be down with it too. You're gonna get some of this on you. Because trust me, I have a way about me. It draws people in. Most of you are here for positivity. I can see your comments and thank you for them. I love you guys. I love you. But the monitoring spirits, I can feel and see you too. And like I said, there's something about me. See, back in the days, people always thought the biggest commodity in the world was money, gold, precious metals, all those things, non-depreciable assets that continue to appreciate in value. But the world has gotten down to such its lowest common denominator, something has risen to the top. The truest commodity that we're getting to see now, bigger than money, bigger than diamonds, bigger than precious gems, precious metals, bigger than all that. And guess what? We've been paying for it all this time and we didn't know. You want to know what it is? Attention. In fact, ever since you was little, pay attention, class. Attention has always been the number one commodity. We didn't even see it. It's been attention all along. And now that we got these, where we spend all our time paying attention, pay, give something of value, pay attention. Attention has been the commodity all along. And you see, when people don't get the attention, bomba clot, they go insane. I have a ninja in my comments right now. Why are you answering everybody but me? Demanding, and full of snappy, saucy comments, slick talk, but you want my attention. Why? Why do you want my attention? I said, what exactly? I had somebody get upset with me because they were like, since you did this Trump thing, after you finish Trump, the next one you should do is Kamala. I said, no, ma'am, perhaps you can do it. Why are you getting all snotty with me? Is that a rude statement? No, ma'am, perhaps you can do it. Does that sound rude? Does that sound rude? Huh? Telling me what to do. This my little channel. It ain't perfect. I still don't know all the little bells and whistles. You see, when I was struggling the other day to put the pictures up, the hackation wasn't letting me do it because, they stay hacking me, child. They like, oh, we're not going to let her have bells and whistles too now. Pick and choose, honey. You're going to be on this screen, or you're going to have off the screen with your bells and whistles, or you're going to be on the screen with no bells and whistles. We not letting you do both. We're going to hack you, girl. We ain't letting you. I don't even have a thumbnail on this video. They hack my ink, and a simple process. My daughter sent me anything, boop, 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 and 1, 2, 3. This part is the easiest, putting it up. The simplest. I couldn't even put a thumbnail on this. I pressed that thing a million times. The computer was like, look, what you keep pressing it for? We ain't letting you put it up. I was like, sheesh, okay, computer Siri. All right. Eventually, I was like, I just have to put it afterwards. The notion is we don't want nobody to see her stuff. Hopefully, the ones who don't get the notifications, and they're going to miss it. We don't want that signature telltale purple with the hat and the glasses. And people have seen you to be like, oh, I know who you are. You that lady. Somebody walked up to me and said, why are you so familiar to me? Did you go to high school with me? Where you went to? I looked at her, I said, why, thank you. I said, you look pretty young. She was like, yeah, you went to high school with me? I said, no, honey, child, when I was in high school, you was in diapers. She was like, but where do I know you from? You used to live in my neighborhood. What church you used to go to? I'm always astounded that people recognize me. I had people walk up to me and go, you that lady. You that lady. I had one person walk to me, okay, vocabulary. She didn't say nothing else. She kept on walking. She was just like, okay, vocabulary, and kept on walking. I just laughed to myself. I said my mother would get a kick out of that, a kick. Why so mean? Why so mean? Why? Why so mean? Can we be better to each other? Even y'all monitoring spirits. Because guess what? You remember that old saying, it's a thin line between love and hate? You'll come to realize you really don't hate me. In fact, you'll find yourself laughing at my jokes, taking interest in my conversations. You'll find yourself getting information that's beneficial to your life if you hang around here. I'm preparing you now. You're going to like me. You gonna like me. You're gonna be like, she corny, but she funny. Let me be. Let me be. Let me be. Why you want to come put your foot upon my neck? Because I don't tolerate that. You ain't gonna put your foot on me. If you think you are. Listen. I'm trying to stay in my spiritual walk. Let me be. Why you want to pull me out? What you got to prove? Because listen, I know the old people them used to say, when you dig a hole for somebody, dig two. One for you to drop in. I'm going to give you the updated value. Don't dig two. Continue to dig your hole because I ain't going nowhere. You going to drop in that hole. Not me. So dig all you want. Don't stop at 6 feet. Go deeper. Because you're going to be in that hole by yourself. So I am done. Listen, when I tell you I'm finished with this whole discussion of all this craziness and all this mockery and all this maku and all this thing, I'm done. I'm done here. I'm not talking about these scallywags no more. This poor young lady who had to, Jane Doe, who had to reveal her identity. I'm telling you, by the time the case comes to thing, you're going to hear a vicious story of how, God forbid, I pray God's protection and covering over her so that she is not tracked down and she tap out, because that's that is what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what this whole thing was about. I never even saw the movie Blink Twice. I kept hearing people say, yo, her story is Blink Twice. I was like, Nirvana, what's Blink Twice? And she was like, oh, the movie. I still ain't watch it. I still ain't watched the Shine. I still ain't watched the Shine interview. I could go to something, my mind will be, I could turn on something. I could turn on a channel on YouTube and I'll be like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me go look here. So help me God. Somebody could be smacking their lips or something. I have misophonia. You may not be familiar with the title, but you know, if you ever sit in the room with somebody and they eating something, they smacking their lips, they, woo, Lord, my brain go ape-ish. I cannot stand the sound of it. It's called misophonia. Slurping. You ever been around your family and it's dinner time and they eating soup? I'll go eat in the kitchen by myself. I can't take it. They used to be like, well, go eat in the kitchen by yourself. I'll be like, gladly. Thought you'd never ask. I cannot stand mouth noises. My daughter had some friends over one time. I bought them some food. I walk in the thing. The girl said, all of the friends, the rest of the friends that always come over, they turned and looked at the girl like, she don't like that, please. She all. And I'm going to tell you how God, let me tell you the friggin' sense of humor that our Father God has. All my life, my sisters, everybody. I used to have my own fork, my own plate, my own spoon, own knife, cup. I would freak out if you used my stuff. I didn't want nobody to use my stuff. When I tell you I'm a nerd, I'm very finicky. I didn't want my sisters. Everybody knew, don't touch her stuff. Leave her stuff alone. Whenever my sister wanted to mess with me, she would let her friends come over and use my stuff. I would spaz out. I don't like it. I have my things and them I just put on my things. I don't want nobody to move my thing. You know, if I come inside and I put this bottle here and you move the bottle here, I have a problem. Leave my fucking bottle. I like my things where I put them. I'm a Gemini. I don't like nobody to mess with my things. I don't want to. Let me tell you what a sense of humor God got. My grandma baby, my grandbaby. I call her grandma baby. She called me grandma baby. That is when I tell you, my trusty dusty sidekick and my grandma baby. I love all my children. I love each one of them. My oldest is my favorite oldest child. My middle is my favorite middle child. And my daughter is my favorite daughter. And my granddaughter is my favorite granddaughter. I love them all. But baby, my granddaughter, baby, them lips is Velcro. Mwah, 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 mwah. I was sitting there the first time she started eating. I was looking at her. I was like, God, why would you do this to me? I had to force myself to reconcile what's more important. This thing that has bugged you for 50 years or letting your grandbaby flourish and blossom and be everything that she's going to be. And I had to force myself to. I have such mind control and power. I forced myself to not hear them Velcro lips. Cause baby, I'm talking grab. You know the sound of Velcro? I love my grandma baby so much that I had to force myself to be like, I don't hear it. I don't hear it, God. I just be like, Father God, you be, oh Lord, because that's how God will do you. He's like, well, let me test your faith. How much do you repulse lip smacking? Because I know you love your grandma baby. Are you willing to take your grandma baby anyway? Some people are selfish. They'll be like, I don't care. I don't like lip smacking. Don't be smacking your lips around me, girl. I love her too much to limit anything. I am her grandmother. I want her to blossom and be the best. Now, I will say, ladies eat with their lips closed. And her eyes will get big and she'll look at me and go, yes, grandma baby. And then she'll be chewing with her eyes big. And I could see she's suffering. She liked to smack that lip. I think the lip smack give it a little more flavor. I just had to be like, okay, smack your lips. Smack your lips. And yes, the panic sets in because sometimes I'll be like, but I love my grandma baby so much that I wouldn't dare. I just be like, there's something called etiquette. I teach her where the knife goes and the fork and all the proper place setting and all that. And I also say, and with proper etiquette, when you're at a fancy smancy restaurant and in a fancy smancy house when you're eating, people are not supposed to they're not supposed to see your tongue while you're chewing or hear your noise while you're chewing, or they're not supposed to see all of that inside your mouth. So you got it. And now when they made the whole, demure, she's like, Grandma, did you hear the thing on TikTok with demure? I said, yes, honey, I'm demure just like you. That's when we sit at the table. We be very demure. We chew like this. I said, we eat little cucumber sandwiches there. And she just starts laughing and but trust me, I said, Father God. That's why they always say, never say what you not gonna do. Well, I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna. God goes, everything you say you don't want, God is going to send it to you, confront you with it. It's a test of faith. It's a test of faith. I love my grandma baby. I love my peace and silence and not hearing those crunching lip smacking. But I love my grandma baby so much more. I love the legacy. I love the fact that God gave me exponential love of my children. He allowed me to be not an ancestor, excuse me, I rebuke that, an elder in my family and see another exponential generation come and wear my face and look like a combination between me and my husband. How could I be repulsed by that? There's no way. Popping gum too. And I used to pop my gum when I was a teenager because we thought that was cute. My mother used to say, oh, what is this, trailer park? Stop. My mother hated that. And I realized we hold so fast to certain things and we think we can't overcome them, but God will force you to overcome it by sending somebody you love so much with the thing you hate the most. Because this life is a school. So we got to learn. We have to learn that while people think that they're giving you, who you shouldn't talk to and who you should, you cannot tell people who they could talk to. You can't. As much as I was passionate about that Trump stuff, I said, I don't care who you vote for and who you believe in. I just want you to be fully aware. You could think he's a great businessman, somebody who flunked every business and sent them all into bankruptcy and lost millions and millions. You heard the man say back in 90 something, he was 975 million was on the low spectrum of his financial loss. The low, he said he owed way more than that. If you like a man who let his young daughter sit on his leg and straddle his leg while he dry humper, if that's what you like, what can I say? I just want you to know he doesn't do that. When they ask him, what did your newborn 1-year-old baby get from you? What did it get from its mother? And you say her legs, and I don't know if she got these yet. We'll have to wait and see. If that's who you want to be your leader, is this your leader? Is this your king? That's who you want? You're entitled. Just know that that's a part of who he is. And if you're repulsed by it and you're mad that I'm telling you, well, perhaps you're not in love. You're more in love with the concept of what he represents as opposed to him. Either way, be fully informed. I don't care who you choose. Just be fully informed. I was like, how we get all these Trump pumpers in here? And the dopest mod said, because you wrote Trump in the title. And I was like, is that why they came? Jeez Louise. I said, maybe I ain't going to put that. I said, on tonight, I'm going to put, is this your leader? Part 2. Because I don't want to deal with them. They savages. They had me tight yesterday. They had me in my feelings. I was like, I don't like it here. So between that yesterday and this, and then all y'all remember, we are in right now in this time period. Mercury is in retrograde. It is ripe for misunderstandings. It is ripe for arguments. It is ripe for just having problems and clashes. Your boss gonna come say some funky stuff to you. You gonna say something back to it's ripe right now. Be mindful. Stay out of stuff. Don't enter into contracts right now if you can avoid it. Google. Yeah. What day does the retrograde end? Can you Google it, please? Trusty Dusty show producer. The show producer is going to let us know what day retrograde ends. But I will tell you about the age of Aquarius. For those of you who don't know, the age of Aquarius is a segment of life and time in society when only truth shall prevail. And anything that contains falseness, anything that contains lies, misrepresentations, all that, the Babylon is going to end on the 15th. Okay, Babylon walls will be torn down. It's going to reveal all the truths of everything. Thank you, Debony. I appreciate that. It's going to reveal the truth of everything. And guess what? Truth shall prevail. Truth shall reign. Everything you... Yeah, she told me. Now you here? Tell us to come here. Okay. Yeah, you dark can't hide. Just like the word says, what business does light have walking with the dark? I don't roll in dirty settings, unmindful settings where negativity and all that is the law of the land and people get down like that, nasty energy. I don't interact with those things. I don't. I do not want, if y'all see foul people, tell them get from around here. Tell them just like that, like the old auntie say down south. Y'all get from around here now. Y'all here? Send them, because I don't have time. And I promise you, I don't want to divest from what we've built here. I love you guys. I think we have a phenomenal community. But I promise you, I don't do mess. God don't bless no mess. God is not the author of no confusion. That's how I know it's enemy. That's how I know it's devil. God is not the author of confusion. When I walked in the house to see somebody disrespecting me and clowning me, I was like, yo, why are they trying to make me the story? But see, this is further harassment from the harasser in chief. I told you he never stopped harassing me. I told you October 7th, they stole the friggin' license plate off my car. I had to go get a replacement. I told y'all they won't stop. He could have picked any other YouTuber to try to harass or set up, but he chose me for a reason. He chose me for a reason. And he used a scallywag to do it, who is now losing his blessing that God gave him because he's thirsty, because he's hungry, he's greedy for money, and you let somebody, I always say, the devil can only jump into you and have you acting on his behalf if you have an open vessel. You have to have some small open vessel for him to get you to act the way he wants you to. And clearly, they did. His flying monkeys, that's right. Them flying monkeys was all over the place. All over the YouTube streets. All to make a young lady who was victimized have to bear her identity and face harassment. Watch how they start harassing her now. Just watch. Just watch how they start harassing her. I'm telling you. Well, we're in the age of Aquarius. And guess what? Listen, Mercury being in retrograde will end on December 15th. But the age of Aquarius is 19 years long. It will end 19 years from now. 19. So if you out here cheating on your man, it's going to come out. You better come clean or you better stop and repent. If your man is cheating on you, you better be prepared to find out. If you've been stealing money, you about to get caught. You might want to quit. If you've been doing anything shifty at your job, or just if you 19 years is a long time where you have to tell the truth. We are in a shift. We are in a paradigm shift in the world. Y'all gotta get it together. Now I'm still thinking about if I'm going to bring back, the Trump thing, because baby, them Trump humpers, me can't bother with them. Me cannot bother with them. I don't like them. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Whew. Thank you, Vita. I appreciate you, my love. Put this on the screen. I've been ignoring y'all comments and all that. I'm so sorry. Vita said, I just became a member before the Trump video. My God is great. All love here. Hashtag critical thinker. Thank you so much, sweetie. Let me put some of y'all up on the screens. Thank you so much. Yeah, I find myself, once my flesh starts wanting to flare up, I start praying. Indeed. You see, I always be like, hold on. Hold on. Because Nataski, yes. Oh, I missed the first part of it. Even when you're talking the truth, the person shows up. That's right. Indeed. Mm-hmm. What you said, I'm reading, y'all? Listen, I'll be reading. I'll be reading sometimes. I appreciate you too. Resist, reject, and rebuke Satan and repent now. Asheo. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Greetings, Queen and chat. Hey, Chelsea, what's the dealie, mama? Natasha said, it's like the Wizard of Oz when Toto pulls the curtain on the wizard. Yay! Now you listen, that's my daughter's favorite movie. That is, I wrote a listen. Do you know that's my daughter's favorite movie? It's been her favorite movie for so long. When she was probably 6, I wrote a sermon using the Wizard of Oz. I wrote a sermon using the analogies of the Wizard of Oz for real life. Vaughn! Where are you? Come. Hi, baby. What was it? I feel like I just had something in my hand and I put it down and I can't find it. That's that, they call that menopause brain. The truth just doesn't hurt. It just can be hard to hear. The truth sets us free. Asheo. Asheo. Oh, thank you, China. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you guys, I love you all. I love you all. I promise I do. Absolutely. Don't trust no shadow after dark. You're right. You're right. Look, the trusty dusty sidekick. This is the trusty dusty show producer and her trusty dusty sidekick. The besties. Listen, it's a little, well, I don't got my lashes on, so let me put you, I can't let y'all see all of me now. It's a little crazy out there. I want you to be very mindful with your, in just in regards to everything with your driving. Remember, the end of the year is very, this is I'd rather y'all just be in the house. Y'all don't have no plans to go nowhere, right? Y'all just gonna be in the house? Be in the house, be safe, drive carefully, slowly, slow down. You didn't hear, I'm serious. Did you hear about the young lady here in Georgia that got convicted today? There was a car accident. She got convicted. She got indicted today and arrested. Her and the passenger crawled out of the car. The other girl died. They were all drunk. They did the black box. She never pressed the brakes. At the point of impact, 98 miles an hour. She never tapped the brake. One of the girls that was in the car that crawled out, they had just left her house. They arrested and indicted the parents as well, called it the party house. They said the parents let everybody drink up in their house at all times. What happened? Sorry, guys. So just be careful, okay? What you just said?
What type of?
What you just said?
What did I say?
You made a joke just now. That ain't funny.
Oh, I said it was dusty. I said why I gotta be dusty.
No, who? You That's made the joke?
I
must have read y'all thoughts. I read your thoughts. I heard a joke.
I really didn't say anything. I was asking what.
I read your thoughts. What kind of what?
Candle.
You got candles?
Because it's a candle they sell.
Oh. Whatever you want to bring me. Pineapple, whatever.
I got something for you already, but
Okay.
I was saying if you wanted.
Y'all just be careful, okay? Lock my door up good, please. Please text me when you get to the house.
Okay. I gotta pick up Trey, but he's like 10 minutes away from my house.
Please be careful.
Okay.
And y'all gotta start leaving earlier.
It wasn't me this time. It was his fault.
Okay. I love y'all. Lock my door, please, top and bottom.
Okay.
My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. You know you gotta talk to the girlies. Michelle said, "Oh, I am late. I just prayed over my daughter. She is going to a wedding. I get some please from." Oh, I'm so sorry. Your son passed away from a motorbike accident. Huh?
I said, Toodles, she'll be back.
Toodles, love y'all. Tell your mother I said what up.
Right.
Tell her I said what up though. Love y'all. Love you. Bye guys. Be safe. You China. I know. Listen, girl. Now I know. I knew I heard her say something. You heard that, right? You caught them? Trying to play me like I ain't gonna talk about. I didn't say that. What? I know I heard you say something. Thank you, girl. You caught it. I knew I heard it. I caught it out the corner of my ear. Trying to play somebody. Yeah, even when they grow up, they are kids. Yep, you're right, 100%. They try to pat. Listen, I asked that girl. I said, "What you just said?" I didn't say that. Huh? I know I heard it. Oh, and that's how the one I was just talking to is 18 and my daughter is 17. So, she got her first car, all that. I mean, she's a good driver and everything. That's my daughter's best friend in the whole wide world. But, as a mommy, as a parent, we still want to say it. Lisa Bruno, whenever I get a notification that you're on, I leave whatever I'm watching and come here. Love listening to you. There's so much love out here for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm so sorry to let the scallywags get under my skin. But scallywags, they itchy. They itchy. Anything that gets under your skin. Oh, thank you. I love candles too. You see how they love me so much? Those are my babies. Those are my babies. My daughter and her best friend have been best friends for years and just great girls. Lisa Bruno, a very pivotal person in my life. Her last name was Miss Bruno, Joe Bruno, Josephine Bruno. She was the principal at my school, and it was a very avant-garde school. It went from the school started at like pre-K all the way to 8th grade, and it was a very different school. It was kind of like a combination of a magnet school. It was a very high-performing school in Brooklyn, and it was almost like a Montessori type things. Like we had privileges and things that we did. It was just a beautiful experience. It was a really beautiful experience. And so I love that. Miss Bruno was dope. And she looks like, if you guys know who Jamie Lee Curtis is, she's an actress. She always wear her hair very short and she has, like a long neck and she's super slender. That's exactly what Miss Bruno looks like. She literally wore a white silk chiffon blouse, button down, and a black pencil skirt with some classic stilettos, black leather stilettos every day. Every day. Every now and then I would see her change the top, but she was an amazing woman, brilliant educator, super dope, knew every student by name. She would get you in trouble with your mother and be like, she told my mother, "You give them too much. They have all the latest stuff. Why are you buying all these things? Why do they need these? What is this Walkman thing? Why do they have to have everything? Stop buying them things." I'm looking at her like, why is you sabotaging us? Girl, she told my mother buying some too much stuff. My mother said, "Oh, you know what? Miss Bruno said y'all got too much. Y'all the most stylish people in school." Baby, jacked our whole situation up. My mother went to Sears. Remember Sears and Roebuck? And bought us these dry looking coats with this plaid lining. I was like, why is she buying these? Who's she buying that for? Whenever we got in trouble, she said, "Put that coat back. Go get that one." I'll be like, "Please, no." She'd be like, "Go get that coat." When I tell you, Miss Bruno really, she loved her students and she knew what she was doing. We had everything. We were like, I grew up a privileged kid, very spoiled. some a little gaslighting and stuff like that. Listen, let me tell you something about Caribbean households. Caribbean parents, what passes for I love you and I just want to teach you the best, there's a lot of gaslighting in there. Okay? Everything is extremes. It's not like go get your education so that you can be something positive in the future. It's so wait, you want to walk around in the street and carry the sign like the people and them dressed in the big pig suit in the summertime? It's always some extreme thing. It's never like get your education because that's the right thing to do. Or you want to clean the toilets in Macy. Like, oh my gosh, it's always extreme. Dun, dun, dun. Always extreme. Sears, yes, Sears was the joint. The good old days. Definitely, you save a lot at Sears. This is why I love you guys, because I'm gonna tell you something. When I first came on, my spirit was like, I won't say broken, but it was certainly bruised, and I just couldn't understand like why I had to endure this. Like, what? I just didn't understand. What you said, that sounds like a Jewish mother too. Listen, this is how these mothers are. Everybody's mom had this kind of doom and gloom. Like, why is that what you use? Let me tell you what I did with my kids. I literally decided I was going to do something different. There was a lot of spanking and all. I'm not with any of that. I don't hit kids. Let me tell y'all another thing about me. I don't hit kids. My oldest son is 35. My middle son is 32. My daughter is 17. I don't hit kids. I don't believe in it. I'm an ardent anti-hitting person. I cannot stand it. So there have been times, I remember one day I got so upset with my daughter for something, and I was like, you know what? Wait till you get home. I'm going to whip you behind. She turned around and looked at me and was like, please, mommy, that's not even convincing. You don't hit kids. I was like, when we turned around looking for like, I will. I couldn't even say anything. I ended up having to laugh because it sounded so absurd. I don't hit kids. I don't believe in it. I don't like it. I feel like you can talk to them. I told you when I was a kid, I felt like I was an adult. So I used to be like, what do you have to hit me for? Just talk to me. And they used to be like, whap, sit your behind down. Oh, Lord. How can we shout out to Vita for the super chat? How can we contact you, blessings? Email right on the page, thedopestnerd@gmail.com. Same way it's spelled for the title of the show. And email me and we'll get in touch. And I'm just, aw. You half Jewish? Okay. Okay, now. What's the other 50%? Or is it divided? Yeah, I don't like hitting kids. Carrie Ann Young said, I told my great niece today, you have enough love in your heart for everyone, so you don't need to hate. That's right. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something. I feel like the world is going to try to whip you, whether it's literally or figuratively. And so I don't feel like hitting kids is a blessing. Carrie Morales says, you are a beacon of light at the time of darkness and confusion. God has blessed me and all of the nerd herd. When I saw you on Tisa, all the heathens will find their karma. Lots of love to you and the mods. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, guys. That's somebody cutting the onions in here. Did they cut onions before they left? I just don't believe in hitting kids. And so I came up with something when I found out that I was pregnant. I literally stopped and said, Father God, I'm going to examine everything that they did when they were raising me. And I'm going to examine, like, did I not like it and I need to get rid of it? Did I not like it because I I wanted my own way, but it's fundamentally good and I should keep it? Or is it, does it have some good fundamentals, but it can stand to be revised? And I looked at everything, I placed things into those three categories. And if it was just all bad, I just got rid of it and I said, I'm not going to utilize this. And so with my kids, I did something called the Family Forum. Every Thursday, we had a family forum. It was a very informal setting where we sat around the living room and we had like takeout, either or stuff we made at home, but it was a very casual dinner. Normally we sit at the table, eat dinner, but this was very casual. We sit in the family room, TV's on in the background, and it's just a casual setting and we relaxed and, you know, because I wanted to teach my kids that if you want kids to respect adults and you want them to know that they can trust you, you have to prove it to them. You have to demonstrate. A lot of parents are hypocrites. They'll say one thing and do a whole nother. Don't lie. Ring. Oh, that's the landlord. Tell him I ain't here. You give kids mixed messages every single day, and they really don't know what to believe. So I made a decision that I was not going to beat my kids because I didn't like it. I didn't like getting hit, and I couldn't stand it. And so what we do on Family Forum Day, no repercussions. That's the law of the land. That's the one rule for a family forum, no repercussions. You can lay everything on the table. We'll discuss it. No repercussions, no punishment. And so trust me, they held a lot of things. A lot of things got held for family forums. However, I wanted to give them the notion and the understanding that not only do I walk the walk, talk the talk, I walk the walk. Believe me, be able to trust me. Hold on one second, guys. I feel a draft. I tell these kids don't hold my door open. They had it so I feel a rush of air. And I had to go check. But you know what the crazy thing is? The rush of air gave me a recollection of the club that night. When they opened the front door, that rush of air. What it is they had my door open too long. While she came up here, my door must have been open. But sorry about that. Yeah, I don't believe in hitting kids because I just feel like what do you expect to get out of them? It's hard for me to look at somebody that came out of my body that I love. I love them so much. I created them in my womb. Why? Or I carried them in my womb and God created them. Why would I want to hit you? Like, spare the rod and spoil the child is something. See, the Bible has had many iterations, okay? It has had many iterations. During the Council of Nicaea, during all types of different, when different people reigned, they would add to the Bible or take away from it. So all of that, slaves, honor your earthly masters, all of that, spare the rod, spoil the child, those are control mechanisms. I don't ascribe to none of that. None of that. Spare the rod and spoil the child is a control mechanism. That means beat your child to death if they don't listen to you. That's stupid. Stupid. When I tell you I have two of the most level-headed sons, grown adult men, level-headed men, calm, gentle giants, you would look at them and they could be the quintessential, he was tall, black, husky, gentle giants, brilliant, level-headed, calm. My oldest son will, baby, When I say he will reason a situation and be like, so what you're saying theoretically is what I hear you saying to me is blah, 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 blah. But listen, when I tell you level headed and reasonable, and my middle son, just smooth operator. You cannot get him hype. You're not going to get him mad. Now, the oldest one, he'll go from 0 to 100 real quick if he need to. Don't play about his mama and his sister. Don't play. But the middle one is more easy breezy. He say, that's your new boss? Oh, you didn't introduce me to your new boss. You'd be like, what you talking about? He like, he who angers you controls you. That must be your new boss. He's so mellow. You cannot get him all riled up. You just can't. And then my daughter is, I don't even have a history of her having problems with anybody. Nothing. Everybody loves her. She's just really great. She's so level-headed, mature. If somebody doesn't like her, it'll be like, oh, she's so smart and she's so beautiful. Oh, that kind of stuff. But that's about them. It's not about her. And by no means is she perfect. I got to go in on her to wash them dishes. That's why Naya had to come so late, because I was like, baby, you ain't walking out this house. She up in there cooking up a storm. Oh, I'm tired. Listen, you ain't walking out my door with no dishes in my sink. You better get that right. So she was like, okay, I'll wash the dishes. Don't come yet, Naya. I got to do my chores. And so, yeah, you got to do your chores. So we had informal settings. We would sit, and whatever went on, they could tell me about it, and no repercussions, because I wanted them to know that they could trust me. And so they would be like, Mommy, me and my friends, we all went to, remember that day you let us all go out? We went to the movies and we went to the restaurant. My son was like, my friends all got up and ran out, and I didn't want to be stuck with the bill. So I ran out too. Mommy, can you take me back so I could go pay the man? My head was hurting all week. I felt so bad. I still have the money, Mommy. Like, come on. And I'd be like, well, tell me what it was about that. And I asked him, what do you think was wrong with that? He was like, we didn't pay. We ate food and we didn't pay. And I feel so bad about it, Mommy. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to be stuck with with the money. And I didn't want to be left by myself. And I was like, okay. So we went back and I said, hi, who's the manager? And, manager identified himself. I was like, how you doing? This is my son. And he was here with his friends last week and they all ran out. He didn't want to get stuck with the bill and he didn't want to be left by himself. And so he ran out as well. But he has been bothered by it and he confessed it to me, and we came down here to pay you. And they were like, oh my God, young man, what a decent young man. Oh, you know what? Keep your money. I said, he has to pay his bill. And I appreciate that, but he has to pay his bill. And they said, wow, you're a good mother. You really did a great job. Or my other son, like, Mommy, I never forget when my middle son, because back then it was just him and his older brother. Nirvana wasn't around yet. And we used to call him Little Debbie. So he literally, him and his friends, where we lived, there was like a creek. The little boys used to go in the creek. They had a little crew called the Creek Boys. He had me make him some ID cards for all of them. And that was their little ID to be in their club. And I promise you, he was like, he kept hanging his head down. His brother was like, what? No repercussions. Come on with it. He was like, me and my friends were smoking in the creek. And we both turned around. I was like, Little Debbie, you? And all we could do was laugh. And I was like, he was like, don't worry, Mommy, I'll never do it again. It was disgusting. I couldn't stop coughing. Plus, we was like, you got asthma. He's like, I know. It was so stupid. My chest was hurting. I was scared to tell you. And I was like, when did this happen? He said, did you notice that I was staying away from you? And you kept saying, why are you up in your room? He's like, I didn't want you to smell it. I kept taking showers. I kept thinking I could smell it. And I was just like, wow. And so we built a relationship where they could trust me. And we still have it to today. When I tell you, they tell me everything. Sometimes I'll be like, TMI, I don't want to know. No, I don't want to know. But I had those conversations and I was raising sons. And at one point, my husband became very ill and he was disabled and he wasn't able to step up and be that role. And so there was times where when they were growing up and all the girls was hanging around my door. And I was like, listen here, this is the proper use of a condom. You got to hold the tip, roll it down. If you put it on first, do not flip it over. It's no good. Get another one. Something called I had to do it. I had no choice. And I have to say they are fine young men, business owners, phenomenally, all educated. My sons went to higher education. My sons were business owners. My sons, I mean, just, and they ain't perfect either. They got issues that need tissues too. They ain't perfect. I ain't looking for perfection. That job is already taken. His name is Yeshua. Name is Yeshua. Everybody else has flaws. And I accept that. I think all too often we do this thing where we don't accept people's flaws. We got our own flaws. I mean, look, we got issues that need tissues, boo. I know y'all got them. Look, issues that need tissues. Keep a tissue by the side because we all got issues that need tissues. But baby, some of y'all come with no grace, no mercy. You got issues that need tissues. As I used to say, your slip showing and you judging everybody. You judging everybody, but you don't see your flaws. You don't see your flaws. You see everybody flaws. You know, she does weird. You know, that girl over there, she does always. You see her man? He does. You got everybody business and you the raggediest one out the group. Raggedy. Might call you and you so raggedy. But you know everybody else's flaws, but you never see your own. Now that's a problem. Issues that need tissues. That's right. That's a problem. It ain't nothing wrong with seeing other people's flaws, but see yours too. See yours too. It's just what it is. None of us ain't perfect. Not a one. Every one of us have some qualities that are irredeeming at times. You see my behind be late to every live. I'll be like, be here at 6. I stroll in 6:15. Hey, y'all. Listen, but I've told people all the time, I am not on, the world is on Chronos time. Chronos as in chronology or chronological, the root word. I am on Kairos time. Kairos time is God's time. It's infinite. I've never felt like I was on Chronos time. I'm the one that walk in the job. Hey girl, how you doing? Oh, that blouse is beautiful, girl. What you been up to? How was your weekend? Late as hell. I walk right in. Unfazed, unbothered. Listen, when I get here, this work be done though. I will outdo everybody when I get here. That's what it is. I don't be trying to be late. Something happens when I'm getting ready for work. I just turn around in a circle. That's why I've had to work for myself for the most majority of my life. I'll be strutting in. I see my boss be like, hey girl, how you doing? How's your weekend? How was your kid? How'd your daughter do in that test? See, I told you she was going to pass. I walk right, but boss be like, because you got to walk in with confidence, honey. You know you late. You cannot acknowledge the late. You have to walk in and be like, hey girl, oh, so y'all got the good coffee again? Oh Lord, no, we balling in here, ain't we? You gotta walk right on in. You can't show. You too, you be late too, Jay. Listen, the late birds unite. Yeah, you have to, because listen, people know your flaws. So if you act like you don't have them, then you just look crazy, and then people can't trust you. I know my flaws. I'll be like, listen here, girl. When I show up, I show out. When I get up in here, the work is done. Don't act, you know. And I walk right in. Yeah, I brought y'all some donuts. They be like, late donuts. Everybody that had their coffee already. I'm like, you know, you want some more. And I don't even sweat it because I don't try to hide. I don't come with the, what had happened was, I don't do it. I don't do it. I own my stuff. I'll be like, y'all know I'll be late. Don't plan nothing too early. They'll plan a meeting. I'll be like, what time's the meeting? The boss be like, who you think you are? And this was years ago because I don't work for people. I've had my own business for years. But they be like, I don't know why you're making the meeting 9:30. You know she ain't going to be here. I'll be like, you know what? They got a point, girl. 10 o'clock. They be like, you are out of your mind. Listen, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't even waste my time trying to conceal. Although at one job, I had a homegirl, we had a whole racket, honey, because they used to try to come for me. I was in management, but I was just like, they was like, do not come in here late no more. You would just stop being late. I was like, okay. And so we had this whole little racket we used to run when I was by the building. I'd be like, come down, and because we had this door, you had to swipe your ID to get into the door in the inner sanctum of the building. And so I had this whole routine. When I used to get downstairs, me and the man that ran the elevator used to laugh and talk and all that. And I'd be like, you know what time it is? He would swipe his thing for me to go on the elevator because they clocking all of that. They want to see what time you got on the elevator. Too much control, too much micromanagement. What do you care what time I got on the elevator? When I get here, your work be done. My reports are flawless. All these IEPs is proper. Stop micromanaging adults. Corny. Now look, everybody at the house. People be at the house sleeping. You see the memes? The people that work at home, child, they be in the bed, sleep, computer up, no face on. Every now and then they type something. Come on. If life was so nice when I was working at jobs, please, I'll be top notch, honey. I said to my daughter and the dopest mod today, locked. Did I not say this? I said, imagine being so late that you late to the internet. That is late. Late to the internet? Come on now. Me too. You too, Lakeisha? Child, my behind late to the internet. In my room. I'm here. It's not like I got to take a car and go somewhere. I'm here. Late to the internet. Dope as mine said, we forgive you. She used to remind me like, okay, you getting ready? We're almost on. Now she'd be like, she said me today, I said, I always laugh. I said, same bad time, same bad channel. She said, we'll see you around six-ish, six something. Late to click my mouse, girl. There you go. Click. But it's seeing yourself and being what you said, you literally hollering. It's the truth. Here's the thing. When you are transparent and honest about your own flaws, people know that you're honest and they can trust you. It's only when you try to fake like, oh, no, I was in the bathroom or this whole thing. When your boss come around and then people start doing all shuffling papers, like acting like they doing work. Child, my boss used to come in my office because I was in management and I shared an office with two other it was one other young lady and this other lady came back to the job. So they were like, well, we ain't got nowhere to put you. Can she come in here? We'd be like, let her come. Well, we had a massive office and then we shared an office. And I worked in, look at that. Look at this. Look at this menopause brain. Come on. Oh, my homegirl should have been in the chat. I used to have to do audits and stuff. And so when I asked them, I'm like, okay, I'm quality assurance. Send me the files. They didn't want to send me no files. Because the young girl who was like the Miss It on the floor when I first started there, she was like, who this girl thinks she is? She thought I was her age. So she came in my office one day. I said, I've asked you for files. I sent emails out. What's going on? She came in my office. She looked at the picture. She's like, oh, your brothers look just like you. I said, my brothers? Those are my kids. She was like, your kids? How old are you? When I told her I was, she was like, what? Oh, I went to lunch, came back. My office is overflowing with binders everywhere. Everybody came and brought their binders to me. So they were trying to literally stale me off, like set me up for a fail. When they realized I wasn't a little young girl like them, then they was like, oh, get that girl them damn things. So I was like, what you say, your hubby runs on hubby time? Listen, it's a special kind of time. My sons track me now, okay? Track me. I be like, my son like, where you at, Mom? I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm about to get off the highway. He's like, you're standing in Kroger, woman. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in the supermarket. I'm at the line, though. It's pointless. It just make me feel pressure when he be like, where you at? I'm like, now I'll be like, you tracking me? Stop asking questions. You know where I am. Thank you. What? Yeah, listen, everybody used to say, I'll probably be late for my own funeral. Only thing is I want to be cremated. So the fire might not start on time, but that's right. We pull together with honesty and that's how we rise. Absolutely. But so I'm sitting in the office and my boss comes in. All the rest of them is shuffling papers. They acting like they busy. I can't stand that. When you come in, I'm management. I would go in their thing and then they all start turning papers. And I'm like, I could see y'all on the internet. Stop acting. You ain't got to act like that when I come around. It feels artificial to me. I don't like it. I remember my boss came in my office one day and I was looking on the internet for something. It was around holiday time. I was looking for some toys or something for my kids. And she came in. She's like, what you doing? And I'm like, what do you have on? Why does shirt look like you rolled out of bed and fell on top of it? And the girls are looking at me like, you're crazy. Like, what are you saying to the boss? I was like, come on, woman. You're running an organization. What are you doing? Get yourself together. And she was an older white lady, a Jewish lady. She was like, I love you, kiddo. Her and the director underneath her. She was like, I love you, kiddo. You're just so honest. You're just so, because I'm like, why am I faking jacks? She like, what you doing in here? Report. I was like, actually, no, trying to catch a sale on Target, trying to make sure I get this thing for my son. And they would just laugh and chuckle and put their feet up and sit in my office and hang out. So now the other people that work in the office walk by and see the bosses hanging out in my office, be like, what the hell going on in there? And they used to be so shook, but they loved me because I was always upfront and direct. I would go, listen, I don't work for anybody anymore, but I'm telling you, stop by your boss's office and say, hey, you got a minute? And they'll be like, well, I'm a little busy right now, but what's going on? I say, you think you have some time later on we can talk? When do you think you'll have like a free 30 minutes will do, 25 minutes? And they'll be like, come see me at 12 or 12:30. And then you stop by and they say, what's going on? And you say, hey, how's everything going? You good? Okay, well, listen, I just wanted to check. I wanted to assess with you. How am I doing? Where do I have room for improvement? What am I doing well? What can I do better? What should I stop? They'll always look at me and be like, okay, is this a serious conversation? Time. Get here on time. I'd be like, listen, we're talking about real things. Put that on the side. So I'm just want to check in with you, make sure. People are just like, I've never had anybody an employee come and say, how am I doing? They loved me. They be chilling in my office, feet up. We be laughing and talking in the office. People will walk by and be like, is she a spy? She's a spy. She got to be a spy. Why is she hanging out with the boss? Because God is no respecter of person. And I'm not afraid of the boss. I'm not afraid. She's a person. She don't want to do this work. She hired us to do it. What you scared of? You all nervous around the boss, like every time you see her, she going to fire you. Then who's going to do all the work? She not doing it. What you scared for? And if you lose this job, you get another. What? I don't understand this. Oh, the boss. When I tell you, me and them used to sit in there and laugh and talk and chuckle, people used to be like, wow, you definitely different. I am. Absolutely. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Me too. I chat with the Uber drivers. I'm like, so what's new? How's your life going? They be shocked, like, huh? I'm like, what's the matter? Not too many people ask you that. Chelsea said, yes, I feel comfortable with authentic people. Artificial makes me sick. Me too. And here's another thing. I don't like passive aggressiveness. Oh, can't stand it. Do not like passive aggressiveness. Absolutely. You text your CEO. Did I tell? I told you guys, because I was going to say, did I tell you about the Blue Cross anthem? Baby, so let's chat with that for a while. So we all know, you saw my live with the CEO, some of the updates. They know who the person is, and he came from Atlanta. A lot of people thought that he was a trained assassin and all, but he made a lot of flaws. Like, if you literally took the time to, this is a dry erase for my dry erase board on the wall, but if you took the time to get a Sharpie and write on the bullet casings, deny, defend, delay, or depose. People, depending on where you listen, they say the different words. If you took a Sharpie and wrote that on the bullets, you is a different level of diabolical. Different level. Why would you stop at, you still had to stop and get a double macchiato? Strange. I cannot stand passive aggressive. And passive aggressive is really, what do you say? Here in Minnesota, passive aggressive is normal? Oh, poor thing. I cannot stand passive aggressiveness. I can't. Just be direct. It's almost like people think they're going to get a whipping if somebody's going to beat my behind. It's ridiculous. Like, you're an adult. Say what you have to say. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You want to get in trouble? We are adults. And there's nothing wrong with being a little quiet. That's cool. What I don't want people to do is, passive aggressiveness is so wiggity, wiggity whack. Grace Kirk said, love listening to you, Natanya. I used to say the same thing to my son as a teenager when he left. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to keep it 100. It's so much easier than having people have to figure you out, because passive aggressiveness calls for people to have to read your mind. At the end of the day, the boss is a human being, and it's a title. That's right. And you're 100%, Michelle Andrews. Passive aggressives are dangerous. They are. They are very treacherous, and I do not like it. What you said? I was running around trying to hurry today and wrote on my whiteboard with a Sharpie. Oh no, alcohol. Use alcohol. Take it right off. That isopropyl alcohol. Yeah. Where does it come? Well, it comes from people who feel aggressed upon or oppressed, and they don't perceive themselves the ability to speak up. I grew up in a family that would say all the time, oh God, no, well, say what you mean and mean what you say now. Say what you mean and mean what you say, all the time. So passive aggressiveness was not an option. It was like, say what you mean and mean what you say. It wasn't an option. They make you paranoid. Yeah, because you always have, and listen, now I know people that get paranoid because of passive aggressives, but I have this, I don't want to call it weird because it's from God. I could walk in the room and feel everybody's energy. I know who don't like me. I know who like me. And especially, God forbid, the person who doesn't like me is passive aggressive. I'm walking straight over to them. I know. We know that, Debbie. We know. And it's unfortunate because I don't like that she had to say her name. She was entitled to privacy, because I'm telling you that's what this whole rules was about. I don't want to talk about them though. I don't want to talk about them. Passive aggressiveness is dangerous. It's super duper dangerous. And it doesn't show up as authentic in the space. And so you always have to be guessing. But here's the thing. I have this thing. I'm telling you, I can walk in a room and feel everybody's energy. God, that's why I was always leery about people touching me, because if you touch me, I can feel it. I can feel your energy. And if I see somebody being extra passive aggressive or shady or whatever, I'm gonna make a beeline straight to them. Hey girl, how you doing? What you up to today? How's your day? I'm gonna talk straight to them, because get out of your feelings. Stop being so silly. We're adults. Aw, Grace, I'm so sorry she passed away. Grace Kirk said, Natanya, you remind me so much of my bestie. She passed in 2017 of cancer. Her faith was like yours. 7 years later, I still miss her. Oh, she was my faith mentor, used to pray with me. Shout out to your bestie. What's her name? Tell me her name. Let's shout out to Grace's bestie. And trust, they are coming for you if they are leading with passive. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Passive aggressiveness. Listen, we call them Pyrrhic battles. They fight Pyrrhic battles all the time. You don't even know you're involved in a war. Meanwhile, they done set a whole war against you, and you don't even know you're in a war with somebody. Theo said, Natanya, that kind of energy is called vampirism, or like, of course, vampirism. I studied it in psych. It's a strong word, but not negative. It's the energy of the soul. Absolutely. Red said, I try not to let people bring their ish to my door. I'm very selective who I let in. Absolutely. And here's what the old saying is. The old saying is, the enemy or evil cannot come into your home but except by your invitation. So you literally, that's why I tell people, get rid of them welcome mats that actually say welcome. That's an invitation for any spirit to come into your house. You could get a nice filigree mat that has a pattern on it with no words. Do not say welcome. Do not say come in, welcome, all. That's an invitation. Evil cannot cross the front door without you inviting it in. Wow. Annette said, I was a dental assistant for 20 years. Some patients I didn't want to be near. It's bad. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's an unfortunate thing. And Shalom said, what up, Shalom? Shalom said that is because they're battling a war within themselves and aren't winning. Indeed. Indeed. Yes, indeed. You are so right. That's right. Your home is your sanctuary. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Oh, thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. See, this is the best part of it because I promise you, I came here today and I was just like, that's it. I'm done. I ain't got no time for this. I'm gonna go back to my quiet life and do my deep dives and go watch documentaries. Listen, I owe myself about 10 documentaries, but I'm gonna definitely still seek God's face, but I'm gonna temper it with taking my time and all that too. Mm-hmm. You just moved across the country. How you like it? Debbie has 2 cats. You just moved across the country. You gonna throw your laptop? What you throwing your laptop to, girl? Don't you break that good laptop? Oh, what's on my documentary list? Darling, darling. Now, let me tell you something. I ain't never met a documentary I didn't like. I will watch documentaries about my daughter will be like, oh, watching paint dry again. It could be the most far gone thing. I'll watch an entire symposium on how to fill out the USDA home loans. They'll do a 6-hour federal training for their employees of how to coach people to fill. I watch everything. I'm an information junkie. But documentaries, some of the best documentaries I've watched were, so I like these little vignettes right now on I am Q Hef. There's a lot of different channels. I am Q Hef, Dre underscore OG, Right 7X, and Perky. Those are not per se documentaries, but there are documentaries attached to it. So some of them are full-length documentaries and they'll show a snippet of it, or some of them are TikTok channels or whatever, but they're all deep dive into uncovering the truth of what's really going on in this world. And when I tell you, I cannot get enough of them. But I just like, I don't have to have the smushy feel good thing. I like deep dives into anything. I want to know everything. I will watch any documentary. I don't have a perspective, well, this over that and that over this. I like information. If information was cracked, my name would be Pookie and Man Man because I love it. I absolutely love it. Locked is putting these channels in the thing. You guys should really watch them. When I tell you, they are deprogramming people and reprogramming, and that is so important. I think we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. And these are uncovering. Anything that uncovers the truth, I'm all for it. Of course, I like history. I love, my favorite documentaries of all is Hidden Colors. There's Hidden Colors 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they also have a documentary called 1804 about Haiti, the revolution. 1804. Yeah, 1804, 1802. It's 1804. I also like a documentary series a friend of mine did. It's called The School to Prison Pipeline, Elementary Genocide. I just love information. Anything that will enrich my mind with something I did not know previously. I love it. I just love information. I can't get enough of it. Absolutely. Shout out to Jessica Duffy Gutierrez. Love from El Paso, Texas. Get your money. Hey, thank you, girl. And shout out to you, Jessica. I love anything that's going to teach me something. Pookie, honey. Pookie. Like the whole, let me hold $1. How your mama and them. I love information. If I can learn from it, I'm taking it in. But yes, I want you guys. Yeah, listen. I'm trying to click on that. Shalom says Haiti has a substance in their mountains that is being used for jets. Listen, Haiti is really the basis for Wakanda. Vibranium. The vibranium is in Haiti. People just don't know. That's why everybody's trying to keep them down, because first of all, they want to know what measure of people are this that they can beat Napoleon's army that's supposed to be undefeated. Yes, add Dre OG is the triple OG. I love him. He is how I came to these documentary-esque or mini documentary-esque channels, but his videos, their videos can stretch anywhere from 20 something minutes all the way to an hour and change. But it's an education from start to finish. Education from start to finish. Dre OG is my favorite. Then is I am Q Hef. Locked is putting them in the chat. The next one is Right 7X and Perky. Perky's young, so sometimes her perspectives are a little juvenile to me, but I'm not taking anything away from her. She has good videos and I like them. And they're deconstructing the propaganda machine that has worked on us for so many years and reconstructing it. And it's so vital. You learn so many things. And I love that they are like a bunch of shorts and they run it together like they just run it together like, I'm tired. My words are slipping. But it is a fantastic lesson in deprogramming all this crap in the matrix that we've been programmed with and understanding what's really there. People have gone through great lengths to conceal the truth from us. And we are in an age of Aquarius where truth shall reign supreme. Take it all in. That means if there's a period in time where truth is going to reign supreme, then there was another period in time where it was pure lies. That's what you really need to take from that. Oh, I could listen to your wise words all. Thank you so much. You guys are wise too. Listen, you guys are no scrubs. No scrubs. Look at the signs you were given. Just think outside the box rather than what is being presented before you. Absolutely. Shout out Keisha. The loggerhead turtle. Listen, I've watched some about what's going on in our waterways. My sister came up with this whole thing like, oh, let's plan this family cruise. Child, I love cruises. I've gone on many cruises. I ain't going on that cruise. I was like, one of my aunts called me and was like, I just be watching the thing you tell me, all them things inside the water. I'm not going on no cruise. I said, me either. She was like, that's why I love you. Me and you just think the same. Listen here, I don't want to be in no open ocean. Do y'all know what's going on under the ocean? And with all of these crazy things happening in the world, people are seeing UAPs. You know why they change the terms for things and give new acronyms every few years? So that they can hide the rest of the old information. Weren't they UFOs, unidentified flying objects? They still unidentified, they still flying. Now you call them UAPs. Unidentified aerial, whatever. Just changing the name to push the information back. Don't go for it. Don't go for it. Lucky my father told me to be the last of the deep sea divers. Like in the ocean is deep. Yeah. Massive, strange creatures down there. Let me tell you something. About 80% of the oceans are yet to be discovered. What's in there? I'm not messing with it. And I used to be a lifeguard. When I used to be a counselor at a summer camp and I was a lifeguard. Baby, no thank you. No thank you. I can swim my behind off. There's some stuff in that water. Y'all don't want to have to see this stuff. I am not. My sister was like, I don't know what the problem is. New Jack City reference. Pookie. My sister was like, I can't understand why people are not paying for the cruise. Because I send these things for everybody to read and I send these things for everybody to watch. And people's like, no thanks. No water for me. But my sister's one of the ones that be like, I'm not reading all that stuff. Okay. And you're going to be on that cruise by yourself too. I'm not going in the waters now. It's not the time for that. Too much is going on in the world. Absolutely. Listen, I keep telling people nobody robs an empty store. They come for Haiti because they're trying to rob you of your blessings. They come for Haiti because they know Haiti is nothing to play with. They have stripped Haiti, robbed Haiti. France has stripped Haiti of all its resources and money. France is so mad that Haiti beat Napoleon. Do you want to know why Haiti is one of the poorest nations in the free world? Because they've been paying France their riches for beating Napoleon. France charged them. You killed our army. We're going to pay. What? They have been paying France. That's why they can't build up the infrastructure in the country and do what they need to do for their people, because they're paying France for beating their behinds. You should have got your behind whipped anyway. What you doing over in them people land? It's disgusting. France owes them billions of dollars, and they should have to give it back. These are all the different YouTube things. So y'all go on look now and write 7X. I love him too. She said, I watched some dude in the 1990s talk about the Table of Nations using a poorly made PowerPoint. Hilarious. Thank you, Jessica. You're a real one too, boo. Listen, and you heard that all the uproar that's going on because apparently Fox News came out and finally admitted, okay, the world is flat. You don't say. We've been knew that. What's up in the nerd herd? Who's a flat earther? Who is a round earther? Who believes in the globe and who believes in flat? Let's get a consensus in here. Oh, God has other plans, boo. Other plans. What'd you say, Cookie? I woke up at the margarine butter time. BPA free time. I was like, what? Yeah. Let me tell you something. Stay away from that margarine. You know what that margarine was? That's utter butter. Utter lubricant. No nutritional value whatsoever. And I'll tell you something I heard also on one of the, I think I was watching IMQ Hef. There's this doctor, he's a neurophysicist and all types of stuff. And he was talking about what I was telling you guys about the other day, the food pyramid. What a sham. It was all a lie. And he was talking about, I said, wow, what's the likelihood that he's talking about this today? I just talked about it the other day. Ansel Keys, he wanted to be famous and he decided he would create some junk science, and it's what caused all these people to have diabetes, all these problems. All those starches, all those grains, all those things that were not, was not healthy for the body to consume. And they said once that really started taking hold, epidemic of diabetes in this country went up. Yeah, we talked about this the other day. Oh, he said that, Natanya Frequency. Thank you, Jay. Oh, you seen Dre OG Reacts? He's the bomb. He really is the bomb. Carrie Ann Young said, Tesla tried and wanted to give free electricity to everyone. His ideas were stolen and he died suspiciously, allegedly. Interesting document. Listen, we discussed that here, my dear. Trump's uncle. Tesla had 86 trunks with all of his intellectual properties in them. And when he passed away, he was living in a hotel, and Trump's uncle absconded with 26 of his 86. And I truly believe he has the stuff on quantum physics and the tear in the time-space continuum and portals and all that and time travel. I truly believe it. Truly believe it. Oh, thank you. You think I should make a documentary on my life? It would be quite interesting. Darling, when I tell you God has taken me up and through, let me tell you guys a little of my life. So when I was 9, I've done a lot of things. I was a really smart kid. Around the age of 5, for some reason, I was able to open this really big door. I don't know how I got the door open. I don't remember opening the door. All I know is that something told me to go outside at night. And I opened this big heavy door that had this big metal thing behind it. And I walked to the store. And then I stood for 1 second and looked around and was like, it's nighttime. Oh my God, why am I outside at night by myself? I was terrified. And then all of a sudden, I walked into the store. There were these little brown cookies. They were rectangle shaped and they had this pink icing on the top. And it was a scalloped edge. And I came there with not enough money and told the guy I came to buy the cookies. He was like, where's your mother? What are you doing? Who you with? I was like, I came to the store by myself. And he was just like, you better go home now. And then for a time, it seemed like I was outside for a long time. And then everybody came looking for me like, what you doing out here? What you doing? And I didn't, apparently they said one period of time passed by, but it felt like a whole other period of time. I don't know where I was. I don't know how. I have no idea. But I knew I was never the same after that. Honestly, never the same. And so when I was 9, I always had this knowing of everything, a knowing. Like when I was little, they used to say in the Caribbean, they say, if they say you have a goat mouth, that means you say things and they come to pass. And so they'd be like, oh God, that girl have a goat mouth. I don't want her to pass a mouth on me. And they used to call me Nanny, like Nanny Goat, because I would say things and like somebody could be walking about, be like, what's the matter with your leg? Why are you walking with that leg? Oh God, don't pass him out on me. Next thing you know, a week later, they in a cast. Just weirdness, all kinds of weirdness. And so people didn't want me to talk about them because, or make a comment about them because they felt like I had a goat mouth and something would happen or would come to pass. And thank you. You're beautiful and amazing too. I appreciate you guys. And then when I was 9 years old, I could feel my body. I was like, something's wrong with my body. I could feel it. I was like, so I was reading a book, Judy Blume book. Everybody remembers Judy Blume. Oh, flat earthers. Yes, honey, we flat earthers up in here. I mean, well, if you believe in a globe, it's all good. We welcome you too. But flat earth is the way. The Bible says the 4 corners of the earth. I ain't never met a circle that had corners. But we'll go into that another time. Thank you. I think a documentary would be fire about me. I'm writing a documentary about what survivors of gun violence, but I'm writing my memoir. I just can't complete it yet until this case is over because it's such an integral part of my life. But when I was 9 years old, I told them I kept saying something's wrong with me. And they kept telling me, stop posing up your hip, stop popping your hip and just stand up straight. And I was like, what are they talking about? I don't know what they're talking about because I wasn't doing any of those things. But then I started reading this book by Judy Blume called Deanie. Everything Deanie was going through, I started going through. And I was like, that's what's happening to me. That's how I feel. And so I went in the room and I saw this big word and I thought it was sclerosis. So I was like, I have sclerosis. My mother was like, get out of my room. You don't have nothing. I was like, I have sclerosis. I promise you. She wouldn't listen to me. She was like, just get out of here. Because it sounds ridiculous to walk in your room and be like, I have sclerosis. And so, no, I didn't have sclerosis. I kept pushing. Grandma, I have sclerosis. And she was like, oh, God, Gloria, take her to the doctor now, God. Let the doctor and them tell her she don't have sclerosis. So my mother was frustrated and she was like, okay. And so she took me to the doctor and he says, touch your toes, lean over, touch your toes. And he does this film. They give me an x-ray. And when we come back and he says, so I want to know what makes you think you have sclerosis. Why do you think you have sclerosis? And I told him and he said, so I have good news and I have bad news. And they were like, well, my mother said, well, what's the good news? And he said, the good news is you don't have sclerosis. She said, get your jacket. Let's go. And he said, but you have scoliosis. And I'd like to know why a 9-year-old girl knows that she has scoliosis. How do you know? And I told him, I was just like, I could feel my body, this and that. And he was like, you don't even see scoliosis in 9-year-olds. But for some reason, you knew you had scoliosis. I mean, you mispronounced it, but you knew. And how do you know? I've always had a knowing of everything. I've had the strangest occurrences occur in my life. I promise you, it is like a movie. I remember when I was pregnant with my middle son. I'm working. So my belly is huge. And they're like, my husband is like, I don't really want you working on a job because I used to work for the Office of Mental Retardation. And he was like, I don't want none of them people to hit you or nothing like that. You don't need to be on the floor. So they started putting me on hospital duty. If one of the patients was in the hospital, then I would just go sit in the room all day and really not do anything. Just they had to have someone from the facility with them. Greetings, greetings, guys. And I would sit in the room. And I promise you, one day, so the facility I worked in was in Queens in New York, and my stomach was huge. I was like 8 months pregnant, maybe 7.5. And I'm walking. I decided to go get some lunch. So from where the hospital was, I had to walk to Queens Boulevard to get some lunch. And I'm walking to Queens Boulevard, and I'm walking there, and it's lots of people outside. So I get to Queens Boulevard, get my food. As I'm walking back, the block is deserted. Everybody's gone. I'm like, is this the right block? Am I on the same block? Everybody was gone. But then I start hearing, as I go down the block, I hear it screaming, oh God, help me, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I was like, where's that coming from? And I'm looking, I don't see anybody, but I can hear somebody screaming like a gut-wrenching scream. You ever know there's some houses and the driveway goes down, and it's not a super long driveway, but the driveway goes down. It's like a split level house. They have a little porch up here. They have a walk-in garden apartment right at the level where the driveway goes down. This lady, as I come closer, as I continue walking up the block, this lady is screaming. The car had run down the driveway and slammed against her husband into the garage door. So he's pressed on the hood of the car, like, and it hit him with some force. So now to get the car off, you have to push it up a hill, and the car's running. So I just happened upon him. She's like, help me, please. And I'm just like, I look around, not a person around. I'm just like, I'm pregnant. Instantly, I just go, I say, get in the car, put the car in, put it in reverse. And she's like, how? She's frantic. She's trying to hold her husband. I just literally go with the car door open and push the car up the hill. And I said, get in and put it in park. I pushed this car, pregnant, huge belly. Push the car up the hill off of the man. He collapses to the floor. I'm telling his wife, I had to scream at her, get in the car and put it in park. She gets in, she puts it in park, and then the man falls to the floor. And then I'm like, I'm holding my stomach. My husband, I said, my husband knows I just did this. He's going to kill me. I was like, oh no. And I hold my stomach, and I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm pregnant. I just pushed a car for somebody. And so I start walking. I'm like, call 911, miss, call 911. And the husband is on the floor. I'm like, are you okay, son? He was like passed out. I just was like, oh my God. I start feeling this tightness in my stomach, and I walk back to the hospital. And when I get back to the hospital, the lady that was in the room while I was there, she was like, what's the matter with you? You look like you saw a ghost. You okay? And I was like, I just pushed a car off of a man. She was like, what? You're pregnant. What are you doing? I said, his wife was screaming. The car was crashed into him. I didn't know what to do. Nobody else was there. And she was like, what are you doing? You're having a baby. I was like, I couldn't leave him. I pushed the car off of him. When I was so scared to tell my husband, I told my sisters and all. My sisters like, stop being stupid. You always think you're saving somebody. What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Leave him there? There was nobody on the block. Another time, we were going to Six Flags. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what Six Flags is. In Jersey, it was called Six Flags Great Adventure. So the amusement park. So we're going to Six Flags, and we stop in my mother's town in Jersey, there is a monument in the center of town. You know how it is. There's a monument, and you drive around a circle, and it's like a circle, so you can go off this way or that way. You know how it is. And there's a gas station right there. So before we get on the highway, we stop to get gas. So we're at the gas station stopping to get gas. I'm sitting in the back of the car. All of a sudden, this lady's car, the car is driving, but the lady's getting out of the car, and the seatbelt is still kind of attached to her, and her hand hit the thing, and the car just started going in reverse, flying backwards. It's dragging her. She tries to while it's dragging her, she tries to get her footing and reach. She sticks her foot in the car to hit the gear shift and sends that mug slamming into a pole. Wow! It hits the pole falls, wires are bouncing all over the floor. The person in the backseat is trying to pull the thing in gear. The car is dragging the mother. She's still attached to the seatbelt. It is dragged. She got road rash all over her face. I'm talking dragging the flesh off her skin. All while she's dragging, it's dragging her. She's screaming, my baby, my baby, my baby. The car eventually reverses and bam, slams into this half wall by the monument. And that's when it stops. I instantly run across the street. My sister screaming, no, because she knows I'm like a Captain Save-A-Ho. I run across the street. I go and I disengage the seatbelt, and the lady falls to the floor. And I'm like helping her up. I'm like, get up, get up. And she's like, my baby, help my baby. And I go, the grandmother's in the backseat screaming. She can't get her seatbelt off, but she had already stretched herself out. So she took the top off. She can't get the bottom off. You know, if you stretch a seatbelt too much, then that anti-locking brake makes it tighter. She can't get it off. I go to the next side. There's a newborn baby in a car seat. Head is bashed, blood all over the baby's face. I get the baby out. My sister screaming, get over here. Stop what you're doing. You're always trying to save someone. I get the baby out of the car. I go take the baby over to where my sister and them is. I come back. I get the grandmother. The mother had already got out. I disengaged the seatbelt. She fell to the floor. Her skin was raw. I'm talking scraped down to the bone, like the white meat. I get the old lady out. She's bleeding too. My sister is screaming at me. My sister cursed me out good and proper. Why you always gotta go save somebody? You not God. Who told you to go save? But I could. The lady kept screaming, my baby. This was a newborn baby. The baby was like a couple of weeks. And the baby's head blood was streaming down the baby's face. I was so scared. I just wanted to get them to safety. The car caught on fire. And mind you, when they hit the pole, the wires were like boop, boop, bouncing. It was live wires in the street. I didn't even think of any of that. I just wanted to help the lady and the baby. Like it was like Final Destination. That is the best thing I could describe it to. Final Destination. And I was just like, my sister cursed me out so bad. And I was like, what is your problem? They needed help. Like they needed help. She's like, you don't always got to be the one to help somebody. I felt so bad. I was like, I kept thinking in my mind, like, my God, what kind of craziness is that? All her friends was like, what are you doing? Why you had to go out there? Suppose you got electrocuted. So eventually the cops get there. They don't let anybody go down that block. We have to go around and go to another block to go to the highway. We get on the highway. As soon as we get on the highway, kick, kick, boom. What's that? The car breaks down. We are sitting on the highway, stuck. We never made it to no Six Flags. We was waiting for a tow truck. It was a hot summer day. I was like, they was mad at me for going to save the lady. So I was sitting on the part of the metal railing on the highway by myself. They were sitting further down. It was crazy. It was a lot of tension. It was a crazy day. I have had I don't want to call it a crazy life. I've had quite the exciting life. The baby lived. The baby, I don't know what it was that hit the baby in the face, but something hit the baby, and the baby's head was just, babies' heads are very sensitive and soft. Like their fontanelles are not set in place. So anything could just, but the baby face was bleeding. The grandmother just kept kissing me. Thank you so much. Thank you. The lady, oh my God, she had like, I'm sure she has permanent damage from that because she was stuck in that car seat, and that car was just reversing and swaying and going, and it was dragging her all over the concrete. It was really bad. And I'm gonna promise you, after this, I remember years later, until my mother, she still had the house, but she moved out of that house. The monument half wall was still broken. They had never repaired. And I would always say, remember that car accident? My sister would be like, yeah, you always got to save somebody. And that monument wall stayed broken. That had to be 10 years later. The monument wall was still broken. I've had quite a life. Listen, when I tell you the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs things that have happened to me, you'll be like, wow. And it always involves some kind of saving somebody, stepping in the way. But then my mother was like that too, because I remember when I was younger, there was this family, and they had an older sister named Rachel, who unfortunately, Rachel was beautiful, and she was a teenager, an older teenager when we were kids, and she used to babysit us for my mother sometimes and all that. But her siblings, the mom had a lot of kids, and then they had an older brother too, who was an older teenager, older than Rachel, but she had younger kids too. And one time they used to remember when people used to sometimes put the bed by the window, and before we had all these child guards on the windows, they were bouncing on the bed, and the baby fell out of the window. My mother jumped the front gate. It was not a high gate. It was a short gate. My mother jumped the gate and ran and dove and caught the baby. And it just happened to be like, how kids will dig in the front yard? It was So it was an apartment building, and they had dug out the dirt, and there was this the baby. My mother caught the baby, and her hand went into that little alcove that was dug out, and caught the baby. Now the baby had scratches and stuff like that, but my mother dove like she was running for home plate and caught that baby. So it's not really out of the ordinary. It's something I don't know, but it was. That's when they started making buildings have to put those window guards in. That baby fell right out the window. It was a baby, like 8 months old, and my mother caught the baby. So yeah, I know. We talked about it already. I don't want to go back into that because I understand what that was about. I know the revealing her identity has to do with all of this stuff, and I don't want to go back over it again. I don't. But Rachel was such a good person, and unfortunately, a terrible thing happened. So the front of the building had this. It had an archway type of, like you walk into. It was the front of the building, then you walk through this archway, and then there was a garden past it, and then you would go into the respective parts of the building. And this guy was obsessed with Rachel. She was a beauty queen, like gorgeous, beautiful chocolate skin, and he tried. What's that sound? He tried to hold on. Me and Lottie had to go downstairs. I'm sorry, y'all. I kept hearing this little creak, creak. I was like, Lottie might have to party on a Friday. Hold on, let me check on these kids, y'all. Oh, my bad, y'all. Me and Lottie was gonna have to go downstairs and party. But I just call it the house ghost. You know how these houses start to creak? Who needed CPR? Somebody needed CPR? Y'all okay in here? What going on? I see somebody said they was about to start CPR. Y'all good? Oh, it's past your bedtime. Okay. Oh Lord, we've been on here 3 hours already. See, I said I wasn't even gonna do no 3 hours. I said I was gonna do 2.5 hours, 2 hours, maybe 2.5. And look how y'all got me outside past my bedtime. I love you guys. Miracles do happen in Tanya Rubin series. That sounds nice. I like that. Yeah, you got to get that welcome mat out. It's nothing wrong with having a mat. It just should not say the word welcome, because nothing can come into your home but by your invitation. Oh, you said you've been sleeping all week because they're going to be like, what's going on with you? You got to tell your boss, girl, you ain't seen the nerd herd. You better go. You better check out the nerd herd. And then she'd be like, y'all be both walking in and talk about, and then she won't even be bad. Uh-oh, who said me too, Shannon? Keisha? Ooh, child, I got y'all up in there. You got to put your boss on and be like, you ain't down with the nerd herd? Oh, your kitty told you to come to bed? That's so cute. I got to get me whatchamacallit, guys. I have to get when my husband passed, well, before he passed away, when he had the massive heart attack, my dog died the next day. They were so close. I know God didn't want either of them to be alone, and so he let them be together. So we haven't had a dog for a while. We did babysit my cousin's dog for a while, and that was nice. We had her for a few months, and it was nice. But now I feel like I need what do they call the dogs? A comfort dog? Not a comfort dog. Emotional support. I need an emotional support dog. Team Nerd Herd. Thank you. I love your energy, guys. I love all of y'all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, shout out to my husband, Roger Rubin. That's my hubby. He was my best friend in the whole wide world. What you said? My son got randomly thrown off a train for having no ticket. He was the only person on the platform. He saw a man having a heart attack and saved his life. Think it was meant to be. Absolutely. Listen, that's what this thing is called life. It is. People say coincidences, but coincidences are just co-occurring incidences, things that happen simultaneously, and it's like the word says, all things work together for the, and Michelle said, sorry for your deepest condolences. Absolutely. All things work together for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. If you live right and you are called according to the Lord's purpose, listen, it's going to all turn out good. They are so awesome. I need what I want. So we had a toy poodle. His name was Bailey, and we miss him terribly. I love Bailey. That's Nirvana's dog brother. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I love you guys too. Your dog passed away the day you gave birth to your son. Oh, while he was in the operating room. They say when one goes, it makes room for the next one to come. So I'm not just saying like comparing your son to a dog or either verse, but perhaps the dog was there for your protection until God sent you your child to love. And I mean, what a sacrifice. Oh, shout out to Locked. She said, I'm changing lives in real time. Really, guys? Oh. Am I? Listen, to God be the glory. It's all about God. To God be the glory. Oh, my sister used to have a pug, and I have a daughter-in-law with that name. Oh. The emotional support paperwork is 65. Oh, really? The dogs too? Oh, I definitely need one. Do they let you pick and choose what kind? Yeah. I mean, I don't think you ever really heal, because actually Trusty Dusty's show producer was in the room with me, and it was emotional. It was emotional. I mean, we both took it very hard, and he passed away on our anniversary. So I feel like, thank you for that information, first of all. Locked kitten. Let me take that picture because I don't want to lose that. Unfortunately, he passed away on our anniversary, and that's part of what also made it tough. But then that's also what part of gave me what gave me peace, because he was our anniversary was so special to him. We had a unique dichotomy. He and I were born the same day, and he passed away on our anniversary. And it was what, 30th anniversary, 31st. So it was it takes a lot. You don't just get over that. You don't just get over that. Yeah, I know you can adopt free, but I have this doggy in my head. I keep seeing this doggy in my head. That's my baby. Now, if I go somewhere and they have that dog, well, then God has meant for it to be. But I want a golden doodle. You know that sandy brown, cherry brown, like a, it's like a toy poodle and a, what is it? A lab and a poodle or whatever they mix with, all these designer dogs, but they're so cute. He's mostly lab, he's mostly poodle, but he so gorgeous. You can pick any animal you prefer. Oh my goodness, girl, you shouldn't have never told me that. I will have one by Sunday or however quick it happens. Thank you. Wow. I cannot wait. Yeah, you don't really ever get over it. Bailey just was so special in our heart. Like, we talk about Bailey. We have pictures of Bailey. Bailey he had, listen, a personality, honey. Personality. But him and my husband were so close. And my husband used to sneak him all kind of food and stuff. And I used to be like, stop giving that dog food. Stop giving him human food. They were so tight. And they didn't want each other to be alone. And I'm just happy that they're together. I'm happy they're together. Because that was, child. Woo, it was so hard. Nirvana was with me. And so we were away and somebody was watching Bailey. Boy, to tell Nirvana that, my God, horrible. Horrible. Wow. I'm so sorry for y'all loss. But I definitely need I need a little doggy. I'm gonna be an empty nester, guys. I don't know what to do. I'm not the kind of mom that's like, woo woo, I'm about to be free. I'm not her. I am the mom that's like, mommy, I got a science project. Woo, we got a science project. I'm like, let's get these styrofoam balls. What are we making? A solar system? I'm all in. Like, I'm that mom. I'm hands on, all in, love everything to do with my kids. I don't know. I don't want all this free time. I don't. I know people's like, I can't wait to be free. It's not freedom to me. It's sadness. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to. They were like, Mommy, for the first time remember, although they're all our children, I've been mothering. You mother each child individually. So collectively, I've been mothering for 83 years. I don't know what to do with myself. And then my daughter was like, look at you growing your YouTube channel, and then people started like being YouTube crazy and turning me off. Like, I don't want to be here either. So I'm definitely going to get the doggy. Yeah, I need a doogie. That's going to be my bestest friend in the whole wide world. I can't wait. I've been looking around, I went to some pounds, a lot of big dogs. I wasn't interested. A lot of Rottweilers and pit bulls and all that. I have a granddaughter. I even said to my son, like, listen, my granddaughter has her own room in my house. But my son was like, Ma, listen, her 4th birthday happened during the pandemic. I said, I will not short my grandbaby. I did a fourth birthday. Excuse me, I did her fourth birthday extravaganza. I bought her so many gifts. When I tell you, my son and my daughter-in-law got on me. So they said, don't you ever do this again. Nobody can keep up with this. This is absurd. Don't do it again. But it was the pandemic. She couldn't have no friends over. I was like, she'd be like, Grandma, are we gonna have another extravaganza? You know, my birthday's coming up. My son and my daughter-in-law be looking at me like, I was like, I'm sorry, what am I supposed to do? I absolutely adore being a grandma. My granddaughter is 8 years old. I've been a grandma. I absolutely cannot get enough of her. And that's my baby. And she's a blessed kid because she had both sets of grandparents. She had me and Grandpa Shark. That's what she called her grandfather, Grandpa Shark. And we still talk to him and all that. Yeah, we take so she has her maternal her maternal grandparents and her paternal grandparents. She's a blessed kid. Like my granddaughter is living the life of Riley. She literally just got a dog. So now I have a grand dog. I have two grand dogs because my oldest son got a dog too. So now they both literally got dogs the same weekend and they didn't even know. So now I have two grand dogs and a granddaughter. And I'm not that kind of, fancy schmancy grandma that's like, call me Glamour or call me Nunu or call me, I am Grandma, Guama. Call me Guama. I love it. I love being a grandmother. It's the best thing in the whole wide world. Absolutely the best thing. Oh, thank you guys. I love you so much. Yeah, I had a poodle. My first dog, Bailey, was a poodle. Super intelligent. My daughter took the dog I showed her. She said that's called a golden doodle. They're kind of like sandy brown. Oh Lord, I'm supposed to be doing some exercises with my oh, my daughter sent me her Christmas list. I'm supposed to be doing some exercises with my sisters and my mom and my mom and my sister together, and then my other sister and then myself. We have to do these exercises and do it on video and submit it to the. I haven't done mine. I think I missed yesterday too. But guys, we 321. You know, I could be hang with you guys forever. I love you guys. I can hang with you guys forever. Yeah, I love poodles. Oh, Bailey was a fantastic dog. He grew up with Nirvana. In fact, let me tell you about your trusty dusty show producer. She is so smart. So you know when kids get a certain age, they're like, I can stay home by myself. And I was like, stay home by yourself? Are you kidding? Her brothers are significantly older than her, so she was raised like a only kid. And I was like, I'm not leaving you. When I had to go to the supermarket, I'm not leaving you home. She's like, why can't I stay home? I'm not by myself. Bailey's here. And I was like, Bailey's a dog. She's like, he's my dog brother. And I was like, okay, he's your dog brother. But she was like, he's 42. I had to look at her one day. I was like, okay. And that's how she got to stay home by herself for the first time. It was too funny. I said, well, you gave a good argument. And I went to the store, came back, she was fine. Nighty night, guys. Oh, I'm the dopest nerd. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys. You don't understand how much you mean to me. I love being a grandmother. It is literally the very best thing. If you think motherhood and fatherhood is dope, grandparent, I cannot get enough of being a grandparent. Super, super spectacular. What you said, I just sent you one with my friends. He's a joy. Oh, doggy, I can't wait. I need a dog so much. I cannot wait. Hey, your doggy is a big doggy. Nighty night, guys. I love you guys so much. I want to shout out to my mods, the dopest mods in the whole wide world. I want to shout out to Locked, Miss Honesty, and Lakeisha. Shout out to all of y'all. I love you guys so much. My mods are so dope. Renee, Charlotte, and Lakeisha. Y'all hold me down. Nerd Herd, I love you guys. Everybody stay blessed. Say your prayers. Pray for somebody who ain't right, can't get right. Hopefully, we can lead them to the rightness. And just say a prayer of grace and mercy. Give somebody grace and mercy. Give somebody 3 compliments a day. I tell you, it is good for the soul. I promise you. And I don't mean like contrite, BS ones, like real sincere. There's lots of good things out there. You just tell somebody, have a nice day or something sweet. It makes a difference. Good night, you guys. Love you so much. Have a great, great night, day, afternoon. Wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is, you have a great that. Grand rising to all of you. Love you guys. Mwah.